Hello and welcome to Year 7, Episode 13 of Edge of Empire, a Horus Heresy podcast.
Yep.
Once again, we shall be regaling you with all things heresy that have been going on in the world. But without further ado, let me introduce my co-hosts. And today I've decided to boldly go where no man has gone before and think about which Star Trek captain / character would best describe my co-hosts. So I'm going to pick one for me straight off the bat.
Okay. Bear in mind.
Yes.
Again, just very quickly.
Yes.
We did a Star Trek roleplay. You were the captain.
I was
saying.
the captain.
We do have a better understanding of your captaincy style in comparison to
that's true.
Some of the greats, shall we say?
I'm no Janeway, I'll tell you that.
Well, no, absolutely. Your hair would be terrible in the bun.
And I'm not even a Jean-Luc Picard, really. I lack his gravitas, I feel. But I did think that I would be quite good as a Captain Christopher Pike from the new series, because although he's got more hair than me, it's grayer than me.
Okay.
And I see you as Pike. Yeah, I guess.
I think it doesn't take himself too seriously, so that's okay.
No.
But you, my friend, though, there can only be one captain for you, I feel. And that has to be the original Kirk. I've got to be honest.
Original Kirk.
Which is no bad thing. Yeah, definitely. I think because he had a little bit of he's no Picard. Picard's a bit too staid and a bit too rational. And Chris does lack some rationality sometimes.
I just can't see Chris wearing a girdle.
Kirk. Well, I can see Chris, basically going completely ballistic at a Klingon or something. So I think he's more Kirk than anything else, to be truthful.
I am most likely to engage in tit-for-tat combat against my mortal enemy. Yes, that's absolutely
true.
Me.
That's true. And take on a Korg in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, it's Gorn, that baby.
Gorn. But yeah, okay, cool, very good. And for Mr. B, there can be only one character that encompasses his particular brand of things, and that is Nilex from Voyager.
Okay, so Neelix, all right, fair enough.
Nilex.
I don't know. I think
okay.
Tuvix, you could be the crossover with Tuvok.
Yeah, I suppose there is that
sort of rationale.
Just watched that the other day.
I think that kind of happy-go-lucky, let's roll a dice to sort our problems out kind of thing. Plus does like to cook, so there you go, Mr. B.
I do like to cook.
Yeah, so there we go. So anyway,
fair enough. I'm Neelix.
Neelix.
Have you, to interest, Graham, watched any of Lower Decks at all?
I've watched all of Lower Decks.
Brilliant, isn't it?
It is superb.
I think it's the
thing that rekindled my interest in
a bit of Boimler in there as well.
Boimler. Yes, that's true.
Okay, right, fair enough. Yeah, I'll take that.
That is fair, I guess.
Oh, the Strange New Worlds crossover with Lower Decks was
brilliant. That was really good. That was superb. Those two series alone, I think, have really lifted my spirits when it comes to all things Star Trek.
They are the best two Star Trek series of the last
by some way
20 years,
easily. So anyway, today or tonight or wherever you happen to be listening to our lovely podcast, we're going to be covering a few bits and pieces. We're going to obviously give our roundup of all the month's new releases. We're also going to be talking about all the things we've been up to, including myself and Mr. B's small review of the Warzone Heresy Scotland event we attended in October. And we're going to be looking at the State of the Union, so all things around the sort of meta of heresy. Hopefully we'll get onto some epic news, talking about the new, obviously, Legion, whatever it's called. What is it
Legion
called?
Imperialis.
There we go. Which has got people very excited. And some new things, Heresy Briefs, which sounds like something you'd buy from Warhammer World.
I'm pretty sure, Mr.
And
B,
you would definitely
own
have the Ultramarines, yes. Or don't, whatever you do, though, Nobody wants a pair of Death Guard Heresy Briefs. Let's be reasonable here. Graham's Grumblings. This is a new section that I wasn't aware of that Chris has put in. By looking,
I didn't put it in there.
I put it in there just for a one-off, because I know Graham's going to want to have a grumble about this.
I'm going to have a grumble about this section. We've got a few
single little thing.
Yeah, we've got a few entries into Aunt Sally's Happy Endings. Some more rules shenanigans from across the interweb. And we'll finish off with some upcoming events and the close. So, without further ado, comrades all, shall we boldly go into the new releases?
Releases.
or go boldly if we don't want to split infinitives.
Well,
right.
Let's make it so. Mr. B.
Yeah, so we've had a few, because it's been a little while since we last recorded this section. So we'll start off with the 2 Cerastus Knights. For some reason I haven't put up the element game prices because I'm an idiot. But yes,
I'll find that for you now.
Okay, so we've got the Cerastus Knight Acheron and the Castigator, both £120. I think we're both all very excited for those, because they are excellent looking kits. Not priced too badly, are they? And
how much was the Forge World one?
Was
£1 billion.
It was 200 notes, I think it was.
Was it really?
Yeah,
wow.
Far off that.
So right. Yeah, these are pretty good for what they are.
You got to think. I mean, most of those knights were big money. £102 from Element Games.
102 from Element Games.
Yeah. Not terrible. No,
it's not shabby, is it? Think about it. £100.
What Night House is that? It's a nice in the Games Workshop.
Green.
The green. Oh. It's a nice green, isn't it?
Oh,
metallic
I can't remember what the name of the house is. It's the same. It's the house of your old mate.
House of your old mate.
Veroni.
Welcome to the house of your old mate.
From you to role play with. What's his name? Andy Hall.
Oh right, okay, very good.
That's the house that he created. Veroni.
Just making a note in my D&D ideas. House of your old mate.
Yeah, so they're very nice.
When you go into it's like a special portal and it shows you all the people you've lost contact with over the years. Wouldn't that be nice?
It could be a UROLMATE. Uralmat. Uralmate. Uralmate.
Very good.
There we go.
Excellent.
Anyway, these aren't setting the world on fire in terms of points, though, are they? Sorry, in terms of game performance, I suppose. No knights are too terrible. But anyway, it'd be nice to see them. They do look cool, like what I say.
All right. Then we've got a Space
Actually, sorry, Mr. B,
before
we go any further. Does this put them at the same price as a normal knight?
A little bit more. Not that much more.
Not crazy more. Okay,
not crazy more. It's like 20 quid more or something like that.
Okay, so yeah, fair enough.
Very good. You've got to have that upgrade extra sprue in it, isn't it? So there's always going to be.
Yeah.
True. All right. Then we've got the Space Wolves Legion Praetor, which was unveiled sort of the day after we did our last episode. It's a nice little kit in Mark III armor. It's pretty nice. Fenrisian axe and sort of a bolt pistol. So I think people are very excited about this guy. Shield strapped to the back.
Stupid banner on the back. But yes.
Yeah. What did you guys think of this one?
It's all right.
Yeah. £27.50.
Let's have a think. Oh, this chap. Yeah. Sorry, the website's taking ages to load. I like him. I think he is the best Space Wolves model Forge World have done.
Yeah.
So far.
Fair enough. The fur isn't bananas.
The fur isn't. Yeah. I like all the sort of runic work to the chest piece and the groin guard.
It's got a theme there.
Axe is pretty jazzy as well.
The no helmed or helmed version. What would be your preference?
Oh, helm every day of the week.
Just because you don't like painting the face.
Just because I don't want to paint that face.
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, that beard is.
It's a bit Ming the Merciless, isn't it?
Yeah, he's. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a bit Ginger Ming, and that's never. Never a great place to be.
The next one, next kit that's been released. I'm sorry, go on.
Just very quickly. You can't. This is going to be. It may well be later on in the notes. The new Games Workshop website. You can't do 360-degree views of things anymore.
Nope.
And
we took that away.
That is trash because I want to see what that actually is like.
Yeah, you're right. I was looking for that as well.
It's quite annoying.
How bizarre.
Anyway. Okay, so the next one was a bit controversial because it replaced one of the most beloved kits that GW have released over the past few years. The Space Wolf Mark.
They said it themselves, to be fair.
Yeah. So they've replaced those with a brand new kit, with Mark 6 helmet. So yeah, a bit different, but no wolf helm. So yeah, the replacement of a very popular kit with a wolf. Yeah.
They are better, but I mean, I like the clawy, like air vent kind of vibe.
Yeah.
They're very similar to the Thousand Suns ones. That's all I'm saying.
They are a little bit, yeah.
I think they're kind of. I mean, there's only so much you can do with those Mark 6 heads.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an absolute hatred of beakies, so
yeah.
You know, I would probably, now the new Mark 3 kits are out, I would definitely be going for those, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, if I was doing Space Wolves, which of course I never would, as we discussed on another episode, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
several,
we've got. Yeah, very, very, very many times you've expressed your distaste of Mark 6.
I think I just said that, you know, if it was like, if this was the sort of circles of hell as described by Dante's Inferno, you know, the Space Wolves would be sort of literally underneath the frozen body of Judas Iscariot.
Okay, fair enough.
All right,
what a place to be.
Armor.
Yeah, next one is Chaplain Terminator armor, the standard Indomitus Terminator.
Crowbar written all over it.
Sorry? Well, no, you take Indomitus Centurion, so you can take this guy.
These are the new size ones, aren't they?
Yeah. The bigger boys.
A little bit bigger. But yeah,
I'm sure I've seen cooler looking Terminators in Chaplain Terminators, like with all skulls all over them.
Oh yeah, the old.
Oh yeah, this is a bit more generic than the previous ones, but he comes with the option for a storm
wouldn't
shield.
You have to, if you were being kind of master pedant, wouldn't you need to take a? I mean, I think was that free-handed one. I don't know, but wouldn't you need to like get rid of a load of skulls and whatever they?
I think you just need to get rid of the Crux Terminatus, and there's only one of them. It appears.
Which is the Crux Terminatus? That's the big badge on his left shoulder, is it?
Yeah.
What do you think? How cool the Primaris Chaplain is in comparison to this guy? I mean, the Primaris Chaplain, I think, is the only Primaris model I could tolerate to look at.
Fair enough.
In the flesh, this guy just looks a bit.
I mean, even the Chaplain on the bike looks pretty baller.
Yeah, but that Primaris Chaplain looks absolutely terrifying. It looks like
fair enough.
Death incarnate.
Let's have a little look at this fella. Oh yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah, right.
I know. I find his Crozius a bit wimpy.
I mean, you could put a Thunderhammer in there and everybody be happy.
Like a different top of that. But thing is, though, I mean,
now it'd be like, oh, here's a Primaris.
Yeah,
it's a good model. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then we've got the Terminator Squad. The Chaplain was £26. Then we've got the Terminator Squad, who is £40, and that's just a slightly upscaled Terminator Squad in Indomitus armor. So
actually, before we disappear off, into realms unknown, I mean, can you use models like this? So if we look at the 2021 Chaplain, I mean, I'm playing fast and loose with armor marks all the time as well, you know, because I don't really care.
I've got no standards, basically.
I have no standards, but obviously Primaris is a line that I would not cross because Chris would just kill me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm.
And I won't do it quietly either. It won't be.
No, you would make a.
It won't be in your sleep.
You would make sure.
I've been watching a lot of mafia documentaries over the last month or so. So
It wouldn't be quiet.
I've got some ideas.
You'd be sending a message.
There was
so yeah.
I was
So
listening about one that basically he drained all the blood out of his victims. He owned a whatever they're called, where you cut up abattoir. Yeah, and he would drain all the blood out of the body so that it was easier to dispose of.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, Jesus, hope they weren't live where he was doing that. Anyway,
harsh, very harsh. Yeah, Chaplain, Blood Angels Chaplain with jump pack, for example.
I have used that model for other things in my Blood Angels army, so I would allow that.
I think that's okay. But yeah, I guess it's these older, firstborn.
I just used the wings for the.
The wings are cool, like.
Yeah, they're the coolest wings.
I suppose that's Mark 4 armor, is it? Not Mark 4, Mark 7, is it?
Similar.
Yeah, it's a variation on them. But yeah, I didn't use his torso. I just used his jump pack for one of my chaps who is in a box. Oh no, he's on the shelf.
Okay. So what's next out of bag? Space Marine dice?
Yeah, Space Marine dice, just some clacky math rocks. Not much else to say about that. Just blue dice with the Space Marine sort of symbol on it. That's it.
He's a broken man, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Mr. B. Just disguised.
How many packets have you ordered, Mr. B?
Yeah. Tacky math rocks.
Clacky
math rocks.
So very good.
Year 7, episode 13. Make a note. Yeah, when Mr. B. Clacky math rocks.
They're just dice. Nothing really special about or interesting about them. Unlike the Legion owners Astartes Battle Group, which is sold out at Warhammer.com, but still available at Element Games for 106.25 or 125
I know that Dice Saloon still have some because I saw it there the other day and went, oh no, because it's stupid Marines.
In that you get 30 Marines in Mark III armor. Is it 30 Marines? Or is it? 30 Marines in Mark III armor. A Deredeo and a Land Raider.
It's not bad value considering, in the olden times, just the Land Raider alone would have cost more than that.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So then you've got your Deredeo.
Are you buying one? I'm not buying one. No need for it.
No,
that's the thing. I don't want to do anything more Marini for about 5 to 7 decades, I think, at this point.
I think if I was going to do my Iron Warriors again, I might. Obviously, this would be a good place to start. But they're not. After the run's done, that's done, isn't it?
Whack 'em all in Mark 3s.
Yeah.
But I think all those Mark 3 armors are going to be on eBay for the next 10,000 years. So.
Yeah, true enough. Okay, cool.
Okay. Then we've got a Deredeo Dreadnought. Sorry,
just very quickly. Does the Deredeo in the box just come as the standard one, or does it come with any of the?
It's just the standard one from the
doesn't come with any of
the box set.
Okay, cool.
Well, it's got the plasma cannon.
Plasma cannon and the Anvilus auto cannons and the missile launcher, but not the cannon or the Volkite. So I imagine we'll get that at some point soon. Yeah. So then we've got Dreadnought, Deredeo, Anvilus configuration. As we said, they're plasma auto cannons, and it's got the anti-air. What's the on top there? What's the missile launcher? The Alios
missile launcher.
Yeah. So it looks quite nice. It's got a few different variations for the torso, which looks nice. So I think it'd be very interesting to grab that at some point. Very nice looking kit.
Yeah, I'm dreadnoughted out, to be honest with you.
I wonder how magnetizable it is, though.
I mean, if it's like the other one, I think I just
sort of the
blue tack them on. They seem to work fine.
But yeah, very much, very, very interested. Very, very cool looking. Okay. I mean, the Deredo's nice anyway. So
no, I think it's the ugliest of the dreadnoughts, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, but
boat face.
I was about to say I like it, but it does always make me think of sort of a gentleman's pleasure cruiser, or one of like Thorpe Park or whatever, where there's like a kids boat pond thing they can go on.
Oh yes, yeah, one of those.
Yeah,
very good.
Okay, so that's £50 or £42.50 at Element Games.
Nice.
Then you've got your Mark III Tactical Squad, so 20 Mark III Marines, £45 or £38.25 at Element Games. The thing that's supposed to disappoint was I assumed there was going to be a different sprue for the for the upgrade stuff, like the thing, but it's the same as the Mark 6 one. So it's got Mark 6 essentially communication helmets, which is a bit annoying, but no, it's all right. It's they look nice. The pickle helms, obviously, depending on your taste.
Somewhat divisive, yeah.
But no.
How much you getting there? 20,
45.
I mean, for £37, you buy 5 Custodes models.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wowzers. Just goes to show.
So
okay.
It does. They are different to the standard. Well, I said the standard, the old Mark III, but
yeah, we're going to get that scale creep, aren't we? All my Mark III.
Yeah.
No, I've got Mark III on my
they look nice.
Ultramarines. So that's going to look weird at some point in the future.
Yeah, they look all right. Definitely different to the old stuff, but not like so different that it's.
No, I mean the kits look nice. Good.
Kits look nice.
More Marines is no bad thing.
More variation is no bad thing.
Yeah. Exemplary Battles.
Yes, exemplary. So exemplary battles, for the Age of Darkness, Volume 1, £30.
Nonsense.
£30 for the hardback, $24.99. And yes, I have to agree, it was very poor value. Okay, I thought they
were going to go back and do things like the Sun Star Killers or some of the other things that had appeared in the exemplary and maybe redo them, but they just picked 5 or 6 of the exemplary battles and didn't do anything with them. They're exactly the same, aren't they?
Yes, they are exactly the same.
And it's Volume 1 as well, so
talk about money spinner. I mean, £30 for that. The only thing that was different was the
but the thing is, though, aren't all the exemplary battles free?
Yeah,
they are. Well, the Salamander squad is brand new. That's brand new. That's
is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's a brand new squad. You've got the rules for Fulgrim Transfigured and Emperor's Children Corrupted.
Yeah.
But if you're an Emperor's Children or Salamander's player, this is
but £30 for a single squad entry.
Yeah, for 2 pages, really.
But it was overall pretty poor value. I mean, they said about, we're going to have conversion guides, we're going to have painting guides.
That's right. I thought it was going to be.
It turned out there was none of that, so I was a little bit disappointed with that. Very poor.
I thought
value.
they were going to take some of the old ones they did for version 1 and kind of redo them in version 2. But
they did redo them in version 2 with the update. But I thought points wise, Sunkillers might needed a bit rebalancing.
Yeah, you'd think so because they are wrong. Their base cost is wrong. Their added new members is okay, but there's something not quite right about them.
Yeah, there was.
But I thought that was. But no, it's just just chuck them all together, put them around a book, and so we can flog Fulgrim to people. I'm not impressed with that at all.
No, it was very. It's the worst book that they've released for Heresy gaming wise thus far. Really disappointed with it. But anyway, moving on.
I wouldn't recommend it unless you want to play those particular historical battles. But even then,
they weren't any. Free.
Yeah, they weren't generic, are they? They are very specific kind of battles.
I mean, there's some Zone Mortalis missions in there, but it's not. It's not really worth the price.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay. Moving on, we've got a new skirmish case, the Stormvault skirmish case. There's an article link there to show how it stores in there. It looks all right. I mean, I suppose it might fit a Zone Mortalis force in there. It's £35 from GW or what was it, $29.75 from Games Workshop. I don't think it's all that used to us because it's just not going to store enough. I mean,
12 models they got on the thing.
Yeah, I think there's 2 layers of those, but I think. So, actually, there might not be. You would struggle to fit in a.
Because now I've got the 360 view, you can't kind of tell how thick it is, really, can you?
Yeah, it's all right for certain models, which are quite difficult to store. But
hold miniatures on 20. Can hold any number, but doesn't tell you.
No.
Yeah.
Doesn't give you product Oh, there you go.
It's fine.
What are those on? Those are 40mm bases?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 models on
the 12
40mm
bases,
bases.
basically.
Yeah.
I think it's fine for maybe a Blood Bowl, a Blood Bowl thing, but yeah. Or if you've got some really...
to be fair, that's the full 3,000 points of custody, so
it's not far off.
True. So it's fine. It's just not really that
with your
straight
wallet, basically.
I don't think.
Yes.
But yeah, no. Oh no, it's just a one layer. So yeah.
Trash.
It looks like it looks like you can store about 12 Primaris Marines on.
Wowzers. Okay.
Yeah. So not fine for Blood Bowl or Necromunda. Maybe Zone Mortalis if you've got a lot of points in your troops, but. Yeah, no, not quite for us. Cool. Then we have the Ends and the Death Volume 2. We got it as a hardback, £22. You've also got your digital version and your audio book, which is you want an Audible credit or $29.99. It's a really, really good book. It's so far, it's really, really good. Yeah, kind of brutal in places. A few twists that wasn't expected, but yeah, really good. I think we'll talk about it in more detail later on. Then we've got Fulgrim Transfigured, £175 for Demon Fulgrim. I mean,
the price isn't massively unexpected.
No, the price is about what I expected for a model of that size. Good luck transporting him, but
yeah, that's going to be a proper pain.
You've got to hope there's some way to take those wings off and put them back on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful model, absolutely gorgeous, but yeah, maybe not. Maybe
I noticed they don't put the painting guide on it either.
No, the new website doesn't have the painting guides, but
it used to say you need these paints to make this thing,
which never was actually the case. It was like random paints that never made any sense.
It's a nice paint job, though. That purple's nice.
Oh yeah, lovely paint job. Forge World always do. Well, sometimes Forge World do. I suppose on the Primarchs they do a nicer paint job, but
if someone put that down opposite me on the table, I would just be like, do not touch it, just put a blank base down, and that's where that model is, because I would be terrified of just a rogue elbow
doing that. Grabbing some dice and
you would need to put your card on the table as a down payment for the fact you've got to knock it over about 4 times.
Send it flying.
No, it's
lift your dice up and take it with you, kind of thing.
I'm good for that. I am very good at doing that.
It is a nice model. Just really, really cool.
I think. I as a display piece, yes. Yep. As a game piece,
not so much.
I would be worried of breaking him.
Yeah, you need some serious lead in that base to.
Still, like I say, fine thing. Okay.
And then finally, we've got the Legion, the Traitor Champion console, £26.50, a Mark III armor with his Volkite pistol and his Paragon blade, and
they do love a Volkite Serpenta, don't they?
Still hate it.
Do you not like it? I'd be okay with that, to be honest with you.
I'd be fine with that.
It doesn't do it for me, I'll be honest with you. It just looks too blocky and stocky.
I don't see what makes him specifically a traitor marine, though.
As I think we discussed previously,
Eye of Horus.
The Eye of Horus and the
big old Eye of Horus on the arm. Mind you, is it though, or is that a transfer?
No. He's got one Eye of Horus on his middle, on his sort of like belt.
Further down, there are better photos actually.
Oh yes, he has got. Yeah, I see what you mean.
No, it is 3D. It's not.
But
it isn't a transfer. But you could easily
a little bit of conversion work there, just to take a few bits off. But yeah,
I think you get your Dremel on that quite gently, and you'll that half treat.
I do like the look of this guy. So
yeah, I do too.
Okay, cool. And then there's just a few tangential things which will
very quickly. Looking at his sword, is very much the Sword of Omens from Thundercats.
Yes, it is.
It is actually. Yes, you're quite right.
Absolutely, the Sword of Omens. Yeah.
Turn into a battle cat. Okay, cool.
That's He-Man.
Oh, sorry, I'm twisting mine.
Good Lord.
Yeah, but bear in mind, I didn't grow up with those cartoons. I
Just getting the bit of paper just spun around very quickly with a candle.
That's correct.
That's the person riding on the horse.
That's all we had.
That's all we had.
We used to exercise ourselves for hours with a hoop and a stick, and bashing it down the cobbled streets in between the horses.
All right. Okay, so a few tangential items that I'll just run through quickly that people might like. Some Christmas cards, $12.99 for a pack. I don't think that's great value myself, but I tend to spend very little on Christmas cards because
I never send them.
Yeah, I should, but I don't.
No.
A red gobbo bauble with a pin badge for £12.
Zoe trope. Sorry, just that's what the thing was called. It was spin round and display it.
Is that what it was? Okay.
A squig bauble. I think I actually have this one from last year.
Yeah, you would have this, wouldn't you?
A Soul Slayer bauble, £12 with a pin badge. A 4-pack of Warhammer baubles and an Imperial tin tote. I actually have one of these tote tins that I got for free with one of the birthday things. I spent that much because I bought everybody their models and got one of these for free, and it stores my spare paints.
Tote.
Yeah, I don't know what it means by tin.
What the bejesus does that mean? It's a tin box, basically.
Yeah, tin box, basically.
For 18 quid.
15 quid.
No, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. A tin box with nothing in it for £15.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, though, you used to say, I'll wait till Christmas, but these days they're all plastic, so...
Yeah, true enough.
It's not like you can,
I mean, to decorate your tree would certainly cost you a few quid if you were going...
yeah.
If you were going for the full-on 40k look or the Warhammer look, right?
I'm just going to have 4 baubles up this year.
Yes, one in each corner.
Yeah.
The bauble budget is somewhat
it's overspent. I went to Poundland last year and bought 400 metric tons of stuff for 20 quid. This year, 4 baubles.
4 minimalist. I've gone 4 baubles, no tree. They're just hanging off a coat hanger.
Yeah.
Just bent into a shape.
Coat hanger with some tinsel on. Jobs are good.
Tinsel.
Tinsel. Yeah.
Just use a metal one. It's shiny enough.
Good point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mr. B, are you going to be decorating your house with bells and holly?
I mean, we'll decorate, but...
Do you? I never do.
Who's Holly?
Oh, yeah. Probably best not to ask. I must admit, I'm a bit Scrooge McDuck when it comes to Christmas decorations. I don't have children, so, but I don't get a tree.
I have decorated Christmas Eve.
Okay. Who's Eve? No,
exactly. Well, it's a lovely girl down the road.
Let's not go there because that's all kinds of wrong. Do you go large for Christmas, Mr. B?
Not
again.
Myself,
that sounds all kinds of wrong. Go on.
Not myself, but sometimes the girls will go crazy over Christmas.
Fair enough.
Okay. Again, if Halloween is finished.
Yes.
Now it's Christmas movies.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Really?
Annie, we had to go to Gunwharf the other day so that she could go Christmas shopping. That was November the 10th.
I mean, who goes shopping?
That's how early my Christmas starts.
All my Christmas shopping for the nibblings was done by the middle of October. So
all my Christmas shopping is done on the 24th of December via the good Christmas saint that is
Christmas elves,
Amazon voucher.
I've got
Please can I have your email address to send you an Amazon voucher? Happy Christmas.
I've got like 20. I've got like 20 under 18 nephews and nieces, so
I can still get a voucher. 20, so. Saves you the bother. Send them a voucher, Mr. B.
I just get the stuff from.
Me and Gray have long ago established that there was no point us buying.
It was a bit weird, because basically we would just end up,
the money would go to the same company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just buy the same company. The only problem I would say with that as a concept is, so we kind of said that we had a non-proliferation agreement, which was, I'm not going to buy you anything, you don't buy me anything, and we'll put the money aside to buy something for ourselves, of course. The problem is when money isn't specifically earmarked in that voucher format, it tends to get absorbed into the general budget of things. So you forget to spend,
I
your
see,
£20 on Games Workshop stuff. Of course, I'd spend it like that anyway. But yeah,
because inevitably, I will receive a voucher from somewhere.
Yeah.
I use the imaginary money that Graham has given me to perhaps bolster that.
Push that out to the next level. Okay,
Yeah.
fair play. Maybe that's the trick I should have.
Well,
the mindset.
I do give my nibblings something, so that. But they all get a book. So
ours are all
they all get a book.
So
You must be the most popular uncle known to man.
yeah.
Oh
Jesus,
no!
thanks.
It's just
What book is it? Just out of interest.
Well,
The Argus catalogue. There you go. That's what you could have had.
Well, no, we do. No, they get all right stuff. They don't get rubbish.
I've drawn in pencil around the things you might want to think about, but don't bother asking me.
One of them got a Dune this year because they're quite into stuff like that. And Leviathan Wakes went to another one. One of them got Howl's Moving Castle. And
okay, fair enough.
It's just it's women's clothes magazines catalogues all round for two different reasons.
I think Bill Bailey described the Argus catalogue when it was an Argus catalogue as the laminated book of dreams.
Yes,
which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah,
and the reason it was laminated is because your tears are the things that you couldn't afford would just wipe off. Anyway,
his show about Australia, I watched that the other day. That was good. So all four. It's worth a watch. It's quite funny.
Okay, cool. All right, check it out. But yes, Argus catalogues all round for everybody. Have a look at those. That's all you need. Anyway,
dream about it.
I don't think they even do they don't do a physical.
No, they don't do an Argus catalogue.
No,
it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's all moved on. It's all digital nowadays. Got blindness in all fields.
Oh, I say that a lot.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay.
Anyway,
cool.
Right.
Nice roundup, Mr. B.
Okay, so let's move on to what we've been up to.
Next up, we're going to have a little stroll through our collective memories and see how good we can recall things, because it's been some time, and we run through the things that we've been up to, starting with modelling, looking at games we played, and finally having a little funksy about what we're going to do next month. So who wants to start proceedings off on the modelling / painting?
I did a very brief campaign for Cartier, and that went, I thought,
you did
especially
for their Christmas catalogue of menswear.
That seemed to be fairly successful. You mean the other kind of things that I've built? I built 5 models.
Hello.
Which is, for this year, nothing short of amazing.
What prompted this sudden spurt of energy?
The sudden need to defeat my mortal nemesis.
Yeah.
And
we'll come on to how that went.
Find new tools to aid my
so Trib, Shield Captain.
So my Tribune / Shield Captain with his twin swords.
Yeah.
His Meridian blades, which worked out
good.
Much better than I thought. Hands were a problem. Because you don't really get many left sword hands.
You don't?
No, not really.
But I had a rummage through the bits boxes, and I found in the old Forge Rod melee weapon upgrade kit, there was the 2 swords hands. They're like very long knives, effectively. But there was a left and a right hand, so I just cut those on, trim those down, and put the new blades on. So that worked out.
Blades on. Nice.
That worked out pretty well. He looks pretty dynamic with his pose.
That's what you want.
Quite cool.
Very good.
Something a bit different.
And that's how you know how much for Games Workshop custodians cost £37. I'm assuming because you bought 4 of them for your.
Well, so here's another thing.
Okay.
My model storage organization
Yes.
is not great.
Somewhat ramshackle.
Somewhat. Well, yeah,
I can sympathise there.
So somewhat, I was going, right, I need these models, I need these amount of models.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find all of those models that I needed. So I was like, oh, right, I'll buy another box of 5. And then I'll,
Yeah.
Got home. Literally, I got home with said box.
Yes.
From FLGS. And then went to get something from under the bed, which has plentiful storage.
Yeah.
I moved a box, and there were 4 Aquilian Terminators, 2 jet bikes, and 5 more normal spear guys. They are 4 jet bikes.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
5 more spear guys. And I quickly hid these so that Annie didn't go,
wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
But I also bought 2 boxes of, I can't think what they're called. They're the plastic 40k Custodes Terminator wannabes.
Oh, yeah.
The name of which now escapes me. I'm going to quickly Google it. Because I wanted something, because it's a model I didn't have in the range, and I'm trying to be as completionist about it within reason.
Yeah.
And I want something that's going to be different from the Aquilians and different from my normal spear guys to represent my Heteron, who have always been up to this point just normal spear guys, well, normal Custodes, but the shields and the swords versions.
Yeah.
So
you're not going for the ones in robes?
No, because I built them before the ones in robes came out, because the robes ones came out when they got launched for 40k. And
classics. Yeah.
Some of us, OG.
Go back before those times.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What the bloody hell are they called? It's not Warlands. Come on, show more. Stupid website. Allosaurus Terminators. That's it. That's what they're called in 40k. That's
an interesting name.
Yeah, Allosaurus.
Allosaurus Custodians.
Allosaurus. Yes.
So I bought 2 boxes of those to be my Heterons, and Rob had kindly printed me out a dozen pairs of the lightning claws.
Oh, right, yep.
Previously, so with the intention of this creation coming to life, which was 4 Heterons with double solarite powered talons.
Very nice.
It's not a friendly combination because
looks up thing in book.
Well, I can tell you, man who looks up thing on book. So weapon skill 5, strength 6 with the claws.
6.
Oh no, strength 5. Sorry, strength 5. AP 2, shred at initiative.
Initiative 5, of course.
Sorry?
Initiative 5, aren't they?
Initiative 5, yeah.
Yeah.
And with the claws and against a
do they get
Nemesis
2 attacks
unit,
or 2? Do they get double, like normal power?
Yeah, so
lightning claws give you +2 attacks rather than +1 attack.
Plus attacks, yeah. So they have 8 attacks on the charge against the Nemesis unit.
Wow.
With
at
these
AP2 at initiative 5.
At AP2 at initiative.
Jeepers.
Brutal.
That's
so. This is my
your new
termination delete unit.
Okay, yeah, that would do it.
I did weigh it up between doing the fists, the strength 10 solarite fists, and these.
Yeah, but
that striking initiative is always. Yeah, I mean, volume of wounds.
Are they rending or anything? These rending.
They're shred. They're not rending.
Shred. I was going to say.
Reroll
wounds. I think
shred's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, 6 is to wound against dreadnoughts, but I guess 8 attacks each.
Yeah.
And you're re-rolling wounds.
Yeah.
Not a bad shout.
It's not bad, yeah. I might change the mix now that they've been out and had a stroll about. So I built 4 of those. The 2 remaining models that I've got, one might get a Guardian Axe and one might get a Fist and a Talon.
Yeah, I was going to say, are they both specialist weapons, so you can get the +1 attack at least, or are they?
I don't think.
Can you take?
I don't think the Solarite.
I don't think either of them are specialist weapons.
Yeah.
Really? Bloody hell.
Man, quickly looks up things.
Yeah, I was
He's
surprised
near
the
the page.
Solarite Power Gauntlet is now.
Yeah, Solarite Power Gauntlet is melee unwieldy, and
unwieldy.
Solarite Talon is melee and shred, so not specialist weapons either.
Wow, so you can basically give them a pistol and they'd get 1+1 attack with those.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goodness. That seems weird, isn't it? Solarite Power Gauntlet. It's better than Power Fist, but isn't a specialist weapon.
Yeah.
Well, I know why, because the
because they're Solarite.
flipping Imperial Fist.
Fist get them.
Yeah, I was
Like
using it the other day. The other day, and it was
Two out of the 3 armies that I play can take them.
I was glad when we were talking about the feedback to the Halloween event. Go on. Anyway, carry on. Sorry, Chris. So that's
So I built 5 whole models, which I think is the most I've built all year. Certainly
since the Thousand Suns.
Yeah, and they would be early part of the year at most. So yeah, that's way back now. So and I had to build 1 jet bike. So I had 2 jet bikes built and not a third. So largely a waste of time.
Okay. Very good. I can't remember what the hell I did. And I was thinking, what did I must have done something. I know I've been painting some things, but I cannot for the life of me remember what. I finished off my jetpack Reavers. I know that much because I painted enough, the barest enough for Scotland, but I hadn't finished all the rest of them off, so I decided to go and finish. So I had 20 of those done, so they're done, which is good. 19, I think. Got those finished. I think it was just like a lot of tidying up I've done. I didn't think I had to pay anything new for any of the events that I've been to. I think I already had all of the stuff that I needed.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically been it. It's just been things that have been unpainted that have been sort of hanging around that have been assembled. So I've tried to get my backlog of those things cleared because I want to start my new project soon, which is my new corrupted Sons of Horus, which I did make a little start with. So I put together the so you way back in the day you did buy me a really cool figure that was a
the Night Lords.
So I thought actually he'd be pretty cool. He's looks pretty evil, so I thought with a little bit of jiggery pokery I can kind of make him a corrupted kind of Praetor-esque look. So that's what I'm going to go for him. So he's going to join the Sons of Horus. So I painted him, started painting his armor up in green, and I'll work out the rest of the colors as I go, blacks and reds and stuff. Cool. So that's basically the plan. But just been lots of things like weird things like hunter killer missiles that I had about 8 or 9 of from the Saber set, and it's just like I should probably paint those. Never use them, but I'm just going to paint them anyway, so they're there.
Yeah, just there, ready, aren't they?
So the odd contemptor weapon. I did paint up, I think, and I did finish off my I think it was already done actually. I'm just trying to think the Castafaran dreadnought, the old classic Chaos one. The metal close combat one that you could
the one with the
kill somebody with.
Thing.
Yeah. So I've painted him, with the
brain caver.
Yeah, cool. Blimey, that would really make a mess of somebody. Yeah. Just solid metal.
Really would. Pop that in a sock.
Exactly right. Yeah, I'll soon know about it. But I think so. That's kind of because I watched this corrupted army. I've started to look at different models to use. So I'm going to use the Hellbrutes from the 40k range.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I thought, well, actually, if I did a late Heresy Sons of Horus, then that have fallen to corruption, because that's been my kind of theme. I thought they'd be pretty good rather than just normal Castafaran dreadnoughts.
Protestations about the imbalance in the Sons of Horus, you're going to stick with them?
Yeah, I think so, because I've done enough of them, and I think yes, they are. But everything is against them, including their own rules. But I like them still. Yeah, they're a fairly generic legion, if you see what I mean. They're not. They're not particularly specialist, so you can do lots with them, and they've got that kind of weird schizophrenic advanced reaction, which makes no sense. for that particular thing. But some of the units are good, but they're kind of my generic list because you can put anything in them really, and it doesn't matter. It's not like people say, well, you shouldn't have jetbikes in there or something. They can have whatever they want. They're that kind of legion.
Is the Hellbrute model, just out of interest?
Yeah.
Because originally it came out in a monopose.
Yeah, you can't get that anymore, which was a shame because that's actually the one I wanted.
Oh,
the
Dark Vengeance one. Yeah.
Dark Vengeance one.
Let me have a look in the loft.
There's a new 40k version, which plastic one. Yeah. So, but I think
there is a chance there is one in the loft from my old Chaos days. So
yeah. But so I'm going to use those. I might do some conversions because I want to do one with twin las cannons, and obviously the thing, it does come with a few options, weapon wise, in the kit. So, but yeah, they're going to be. I'm going to use some Castlefarian dreadnoughts for those in my corrupted list, alongside the Khitan.
Yeah,
which I think is going to be cool. The Decimator, so the new getting the new Pravian type in there. So the Decimator, some warped up looking dreadnoughts, which would be cool, I think. And the Khitan as well. So it should be quite a good fun list actually. It's a little bit dreadnought heavy for me, but that's the plan. Maybe a librarian, I'm not quite sure. I might bring a librarian in as well, just for added lols. But yeah, that's the plan anyway, to use those kind of the sort of slightly later heresy models and mix them in with some of the
more afflicted kind of vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So that should be good fun. So yeah,
just looking at the Hellbrute on the GW website actually.
I don't think it would look out of place, to be honest with you. I don't think it's people would go, oh no, that's 240k. I don't think it is.
The Death Guard coloured one just reminds me of Abomination from the Hulk, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the plan. Cool. That's my next project anyway. I've got some things to mess about with there.
Nice.
Very nice. Right. Okay. For myself, I actually done quite a bit this month. I got a Las Cannon squad for my Death Guard in Mark 6 armor. First time I've added Mark 6 armor to the Death Guard, and they're all right. They don't look too out of place compared with the rest of the Mark 3 and Mark 4 that I've got. You put them on the table and it's not like, oh yeah, they're definitely massive compared to the others. They look bigger, but not like so big that it's immersion breaking. If that makes any sense.
The only the models that do look really weird are the Reavers. The Forge World Reavers are tiny in Mark 3.
I can imagine.
They are like minuscule compared to the Mark 6s, and they really look different, which is a shame really, because they're pretty cool models, but they just look really small.
Yeah, but that was fine. They're nice models. The new kit is really good. The weapons there. I like the augury scanner. It's quite cool. I also painted up a Praetor. I found this in my Doom box, which means sort of don't organize, only move. It's like just random stuff shoved in a box. And, okay. I found a Praetor that I'd started years ago in there, and in Terminator armor, and got him finished. And he's been converted with a Thunder Hammer. I was like, yep, okay, that's brilliant, fantastic.
Nice.
So I was very happy with that because that's going to be handy these days. And I tidied up a Praetor. I say tidied up. I weathered him. He was a bit plain when I finished him, so I've just added some weathering to him. So, nice. Make him fit in with the rest of the Death Guard there, and a Spartan for the Death Guard, which I thought was I really liked doing that. Mortarian Grime, honestly, fantastic paint just for oil stains and stuff. So.
Okay.
I was really happy with that model, the way it turned out. So
cool.
Sorry?
Cool.
Yeah, so quite happy with that.
Yeah.
I also painted my Knight Styrics at long last for the no link to it there. Knight Styrics for the Death Guard, not Death Guard, the House Tyrannus, because that's been sitting in a box for absolutely forever, and it's a really, really nice model because Volkite on a knight is always fun. I mean, who doesn't love the idea of Volkite with knights?
I'd rather have an AP2 weapon, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Given the choice. But you do you.
Yep. And
how's that deflag rate? I just saw it.
and I got a Road to Cannon squad finished from my Imperial Fist the other day, because they really needed, they need something other than just, heavy support guys. And
rotor cannons.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm
pinning.
Road to Cannons. Pinning, I suppose. Okay.
Pinning.
What are they?
And because
Strength 3, though, aren't they? I mean, 4
They're
shots,
technical
strength 3.
support squad.
Yeah.
That can't take assault cannons, I'm guessing, off the top of my head.
No, the only things that can is both of your legions.
I mean, I suppose, as I said,
Imperial Fist is Imperial Fist Legion that can.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah,
Can they not take it Augustus Road Cannons instead?
in place of a heavy flamer? Yeah, so I can always say they're a heavy support squad with flamers, and then upgrade things if I wanted to. But no, rotor cannon squad, because they're pinning. They're auto weapons, so they're hitting on 2s with it being Imperial Fist. So yeah, quite happy with that.
Fair enough.
And see how it goes. Use it.
I suppose you could, couldn't you? Because you could use them as the assault cannons.
Yeah.
Either or. I mean, my Blood Angels guys, Angels Tears have all technically got rotor cannons, but just always played them as assault cannons because there was no alternative.
Yep.
You on TikTok? What the hell's this business?
He's been doing sexy dances, is what I assume TikTok is for.
Have you been like skateboarding down a hill with Fleetwood Mac going again?
Yeah. Trying to get those
viewer figures up.
Yeah.
But before that, I did actually do some word bearers, because my problem with that army has always been I built it as a Pride of Legion army, and it's been difficult to do with anything else. So Chris gave me some random Marines ages ago, and they went in the Doom box. So I actually picked out these Marines and painted them. So I've got 2 Mark IV, 2 Mark III, and now they can go into my squads, and they be tactical squads. So I've got more options in the word bearers now.
Yeah, do you know what? I've got to do the same for my Ultramarines, because I've got veteran squads with like combi weapons, but not enough to make 2 10-man tactical squads. But I've got the old a Mark III box set somewhere.
So that's basically what I did with that, and that's fine. And then I did do a TikTok video on painting lights on a vehicle.
And which particular TikTok dance move were you doing at the time?
None.
Oh.
So what's your top tip?
Well, all I do with the lights is it's just
TikTok
white.
Top tip.
It's just white on there.
Somebody wasn't happy about it. God, don't read the comments.
I've read the comments. Yeah, I've read the comments. He just didn't like lights in general. It's not my scheme. He actually liked my scheme. If I read because I replied and I was like, yeah, okay. But yeah, it's just white. Do a yellow wash.
Yes.
Contrast.
Can't stand painting them. You're absolutely right. It's a bit harsh thing to say, it. I have no love for these lights at all. It's like, oh Jesus, thanks.
Yeah. Pop some silver on the grill, and then wash it with Agrax Earthshade. I think it looks all right.
Do you know what I use? I use Tamiya Clear Blue on my lights.
Fair enough.
Because it
works.
I've never really given it any thought other than, that looks very nice.
Yeah, but that was that.
Your lights are on, mine are off. I see. Yeah. Very cool, Mr. B. Very nice. Yeah. Nice little bit of video malarkey you're doing there with your bald head.
Yeah, I know, that's the only problem. My head's so bald now.
Maybe you should get an Edge of Empire hat or something you could wear.
Possibly, I might have to. Okay, and that was all my modelling this month. So
nice.
Over the games, I guess.
Good quality though. Good quality video, mate.
Yeah.
That video editing course is coming along leaps and bounds.
I'll make you a TikTok sensation.
The sensational Michael Box.
I never know. All right, what about games played?
So many actually that I was like, oh my god, I can't. I'm actually gamed out at one point.
You went to 2 events, didn't you?
I did go to 2 events and various other games in the interim. So do you want to talk about? Let's talk about Warzone Heresy Scotland then.
Yeah, that was a good event. I liked it. The venue's always fun. Can be a bit packed, tight at times, but not like so bad. Not as bad as Warhammer World, but
yeah. So the venue was I forget
Common Ground.
Common Ground Games, which is in Stirling, not too far from over the border, if you like. It's not like up in the Inverness area or something, the other side of the world practically.
It's sort of
Stirling's a nice little
sort of between Glasgow and Edinburgh, sort of a bit north.
It's a nice town / city. I'm not sure it's a city. but yeah, I always like going there. So there was a lot of kind of preamble with this event, lots of kind of Nick and the folks put a lot of effort into the overall story, and they were kind of also running, which I think was something that we talked about, but it's a good idea the way they executed it, was running an ongoing kind of campaign with other people just sort of, submitting their games that they'd played into the overall campaign and using some of that to influence the first game of the event itself.
Yes.
So yeah, I thought it was good. I'm trying to think. It was such a long time ago, and I can't remember who I played, which is terrible. So I'm going to have to go back and look on Facebook, because obviously I took pictures of the thing that I took. People I played.
While you're doing that, I got mine. I got mine linked here already. So my game one, I took up against Matt's White Scars. Really, really nice army. It was a bit of a funny one, because I don't know why I had a funny belly all morning during this.
Yeah,
game,
you weren't well.
I was fine, but he had a Cerberus.
That whiskey that you consumed the night before.
Yeah, he had a Cerberus, and that was actually rather effective. It kind of did a job against my land raiders. Yeah.
Didn't we give this no end of grief, and what a waste of time it was? We
always do, but it did shut down my land raiders. So
okay, fair enough.
It killed one of them, and then the other one just kept getting hit by it. So its las cannons were kind of negated.
A broken clock is right twice a day. I mean,
it's not that.
That's true.
It was tough to deal with. That's all I'll say. It was tough to deal with. But that was that. And yeah, he beat me quite convincingly.
Quite significantly.
I got beat by everybody quite convincingly.
You did get your backside handshake. So my first game was against Mark Howlett, who we have to thank for one of the sections on this podcast.
We do indeed.
Mark Howlett was the one that first pointed out that applying a certain wishful thinking to rules can, in fact, induce a certain action on a scarecrow. Hence Aunt Sally's happy endings for some tangential malarkey. So this was against his Ultramarines. So I knew about Ultramarines, of course, having Ultramarines army myself. And it was pretty well stacked. It had a fell blade, which is always nice to play against, unless you've got a lot of infantry, which I kind of had. But, don't get me, I had a pretty strong list here, so I've got no qualms about whatever anybody chucked at me. A 10-man Lascannon squad, an Omega squad, a Scorpius squad, Reavers coming out of the wazoo. There was very little fat on my army, so again, I have no qualms about the utter destruction that people may have unleashed upon me in that regard. But yeah, it was a good close game, this one. I'm trying to think how it ended. So Mark might have to tell me. I think Mark won this, but it was quite close, if I remember rightly. So yeah, first game, but a really beautifully painted Ultramarines army, actually.
It was really nice. I painted them later on. So
yeah.
My second game, I played the Custodes, which Graham played as well. And yeah, absolutely hammered me in that game. I just couldn't deal with all the 2+ armor. The jet bikes were really effective. The 2 tanks, Telemon.
Am I just shit at this game?
I think that's basically. I couldn't quite work out how you managed to get it so bad, because I think at
3,500 points, you get some more of the toys, which really does give you some more options. But it was
good point, actually.
Yeah, really nicely painted army. Just a lot going on. A lot of 2+. No deep striking though, so I don't know if that has an impact, but.
It wasn't as if he was slouching, though. So I think that sometimes the, you kind of have this thing where you're unlucky insofar as the battles that you play against the armies you don't want to play are always on the worst kind of scenario, layout for you. And in this one, he was very close to me, and I think that made things a lot easier in that regard. But anyway, so. First game was Ultramarines. I think it was. I just lost it by 1 point or 2 points, but I could be wrong. So the bikes were very effective. I'll come on to it. Actually, I'll talk about it in a bit. So my second game was probably one of the best games I had, actually. All of them were good, but this one stood out because I thought the person that I played against was particularly sporting. So they had Dark Angels and Blood Angels allied force.
Nice. Angels of Darkness.
Yeah, with a Warhound Titan. And
casual
game. And it was the long table edge as well. So it was like, I'm going to be a long way away from this Titan. And it's got all the range in the world.
Yeah.
Which he did use to good effect. What I will say, though, I did have a 10-man las cannon squad that was out of range of his big fella. And he never shot my 10-man las cannon squad with his big fella, which he could have done with the Vulcan Mega Bolter and rinsed them.
Yeah.
Quite happily, to be honest with you. I think it's 60-inch range on that gun, and it's AP3. You know, there's no rending or anything. It's just AP3.
Yeah.
And of course, the heavy sports squads predominantly, as you want to sort of start tanking it on the characters or something, is going to be taking some serious hits there. But when he kind of spoke to me about him afterwards, like, I didn't want to kind of take them because they were really the only thing that you had that was kind of pinning my army down. So it made more of a game.
Yeah.
Super sporting, I've got to say. That is something else. That's like next level.
That's
because I would have been like, what's that las cannon? You had a las cannon squad.
Any of us three would have been like,
I would have just no mercy.
Well, two of the three of us, Mr. B may have had the same thought. He's a kind soul. Whereas
it's
you and I would have
rationale,
gone, that's first to die.
Yeah, his rationale was reasonable, which is if we'd been playing on a normal kind of Dawn of War type thing, the Titan would have been dead turn one, which is fair. But again, I still think that, if it was a very, very sporting gesture. Well, props one of the most sporting gestures I've ever experienced in any event, to be honest with you. Yeah, this army was absolutely beautiful, though, I've got to say. Really lovely painted. Every model was a work of art. The chap's name was Scott. Pictures are on the Facebook page. Hopefully Mr. B will link them in the notes. But it was an absolutely stunningly beautiful army. And super well played as well. But I think I actually won this one, which was surprising. The missions in this one, there were like 3 objectives in the middle, and as soon as you kind of got a scoring unit to it, it started to move towards the other team's deployment zone, and if it got into the deployment zone, you got points. And luckily I kind of did enough to stop him from stopping them from getting into the deployment zone, so I kind of got points from that. None of the missions, they were all bespoke missions, I think. They were all kind of very unique in that regard. So there was no, just straight up sort of kill and be killed things. They all had some sort of thought behind them, which was nice. The missions were good, but this was quite a cool one, but quite a difficult one to win. And I think I was one of the few traitors that actually won that mission, which again, I think is something that, we'll maybe talk about in a minute. But so second game was a really good game. A tough game, but I think I just managed to eke the win on that one. So that was that. What about your third game? So it's 3 games on a Saturday, wasn't it, Mr. B?
No, 2 games each day.
Oh, was it 2 games? Oh God, there you go. I was exhausted.
It was just a different world altogether.
I did have actually. I had the Jetpack Centurion. Was just like an incredible single-handed. I think one of the Blood Angel squads got into close combat with him. He managed to survive it. Did the old 2 wounds on them, and then they failed their test. And he sort of then went and caught them in the sweeping advance. They then went on to smash into a Scorpius and kill that as well. I mean, he was absolutely flying. Just one of those models where it's just like you're going to need a Titan to stop him. Yeah. But that was a good game actually. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah,
that was a second game.
So my first game on the Sunday was against Mark Howlett and those Ultramarines. Yes, the Fell Blade was tough. The 2 Predators were tough. There was 2 squads of full Mentatus. It was a weird game. On one side, I was really doing very poorly, but on the other side, I was absolutely hammering him. And then as he destroyed the stuff on the left side, he was able to swing his units through and then sort of concentrate on my right side, which sort of destroyed everything. So it was just tough. 2 Dreadnoughts, which were absolute buggers to take down. The land speeders didn't last very long. I loved his land speeders, painted in the old traditional scheme with big yellow land speeder and the beaky Marines. So that was quite cool. Nice. But Full Mentatus just fell. I don't know why, but they just didn't do very well in my game. They didn't do very well at all. I think it was a mixture of dice rolling and just me concentrating all my firepower on them.
Yeah.
I didn't go near he killed my las cannon squad quite early on, so I had nothing really that could really do anything to the fell blade without getting in close. But it didn't have that big an impact on the game. But it was
I think I ignored it when I played against him.
Yeah, it's still scary.
It's there, but it's not. There's other things to kill that are going to be much quicker and easier to deal with before you get to the fell blade, and you can kind of weather the storm a little bit on his shooting.
But Land Raider was a tough one as well. But then again, I had 2 of them, so. It was an interesting game. Definitely lovely army, beautiful army. So
so my third game was it's like that classic thing that we do in these events. Please don't make me play that army tomorrow.
It's not how the universe works.
It's not how the universe works. Custodes, and this Custodes list there was no give on this. And again, I have no complaints, by the way. My list was not by any stretch of the imagination a walkover list, so absolutely no criticism there. But it got kind of shown up and I made a stupid mistake, which I'm still annoyed at myself for, which was to shoot the Telemon, and it was one of those games that, as we've talked about earlier, the most frustrating types of games, which is where I'm putting 10 las cannon shots in the Telemon, hitting on 2s because I had a armistice bolster ballistic skill. And you're thinking, it's probably going to go the journey. It's only got a 5+ invuln, 10 las cannon shots. It's going to do it, right? I've got to get 7 or 8 of these to land, and I'll be good. Wounding on 2s.
8, isn't it?
Toughness 8, so wounding on 3s actually. And of course, I put 10 shots into it, hit with like 3, and did like 2 wounds, and then he saved both of them on 5+. And then of course he returned fire and just rinsed the squad. It's like, damn, what did I think?
What did he have? The storm. I'm trying to think what he would rinse the squad with. Storm cannon, I guess.
Yeah, it was the kind of multiple shot cannon-y thing.
Yeah.
It was a good combo. It totally worked. And it absolutely rinsed me to bits. It rinsed my heavy sports squad like it wasn't there. But again, it was just shit rolls. If I'm honest, sorry.
Yeah.
That whole thing where somebody's rolling 5s and 6s and you can't roll above a 2, and it's just so frustrating. Now, I don't know whether that is a thing or whether you just notice it more when you have that kind of 2 wounds. He's going to fail both of these 2 5s. My rolls. Right. You've got 3 3+ saves to make. So each of these dice has 66% chance of. Okay, so I should make 3 saves. 2 2s and a 1.
Valdor has a 3-up invulnerable save. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of 4 saves, I failed 3 of them.
I was cursing my luck.
So,
I'll be honest with you. It was just like, but I mean, to be fair, this army, and I threw everything at this army, right? So they had some kind of off-screen things that you could call upon. Yeah. And I think one was a Titan shooting them. And we're not talking about a Warhound Titan. We're talking about a Warlord
Big
Titan
boy.
that was sort of off-screen shooting. I had not 1, but 2 runs with a Thunderhawk to try and deal with these things, and it just couldn't get rid of them. Even with all my shooting and all of that shooting, I literally did nothing. They were just either 5+ing it or 2+ing it, and it was a lot of AP3, but of course everything's at 2+. Apart from the bikes, everything was 2+. I had literally nothing to deal with it, and I just got absolutely rinsed. I think I had like 2 models left at the end of the day. I got absolutely slapped about. But again, I was like, wait a minute, Chris is saying how bad these are. Why is this happening?
Just dice.
It's dice. It's just dice.
And different. Yeah.
I mean, this was a beautiful
opponent. I've got to say, which makes a.
Yeah, I mean, this really was a lovely army. I mean, I put a 20-man Reaver squad in against 4 Terra, and you'd think just volume of fire, they'll get them. No, didn't even get close.
They're going to go. The Terran are going to go first.
Yeah,
they've all got.
I mean, no, they all had Solarite power gauntlets, so they're going last. But they still.
But they're still got 3 wounds, 2+.
Yeah, 2+.
They got a 6+ invuln. So
no, they were the Terminator ones, so the Aquilians.
Oh, the Aquilians. Okay, yeah.
So 4+ invuln. So they were just like, bring it on, whatever.
They'll laugh at those things.
Yeah,
they are. Right.
And like I said, I had a tough list. So and it did zippity doo dah. Didn't really make a dent. The bikes were very good in this. The las cannon shots were good.
Oh yeah, they were.
The las cannon shots on the tank were good. It just nothing missed. Everything did what it needed to do, and my army suffered as a result. Not a lot of line of sight blocking, which actually would have probably helped a little bit on this table. But you play to what you
terrain
had.
at the event was a bit hit and miss. Some of the tables
It was
were
a
really
little
good,
bit Spartan, I've got to say, in some areas.
Some of them were.
But
a bit...
I think also that the one thing that I would say is, I think that although they literally chucked everything at the custodians, didn't they? I think sometimes some of the missions felt like you couldn't win them if you were on the wrong side, if you see what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that the pluses were for the winning side.
They were,
which I think we used to, but then we stopped doing because we realised that actually it made it. You could get into a situation where the winning side just kept winning.
Yes.
Yeah. It just.
Yeah, so I think
snowball basically.
Yeah. So I think what we went with in latter events was the more you win, the harder it gets, which is kind of realistic, I think, up to a point when you kind of break the army. But it should actually be like if you're playing a video game, for example, the better you get at the video game, eventually the video game gets harder for you to progress or finish the game. And I think we started to do that. We were giving the advantage to the team that was losing rather than one that was winning. Certainly in some of the last game was the ambush deployment, for example, which is such a difficult thing to win from. Although weirdly enough, I have quite a lot of success with it, but it is a tough gig. And again, the Traces were never going to win from that. But again, I think they were going for you've kind of blown it now already because you've just been hammered every round. But again, maybe something for the organisers to have a think about is actually reversing that and make the more you win, the harder it should be for you to win the next game.
Yeah.
But and then the final game. So fourth and final game.
I played an interesting list of Space Wolves, which included a Thunderhawk. First time I've ever played a Thunderhawk. And that was a lot of fun. I got wiped out pretty quickly because Space Wolves just go very, very fast. It was a fun game. I had my Fire Raptor in there. He had a Xiphon and a Thunderhawk, so there was a bit of dogfighting going on. Not that my Fire Raptor could stand up to a Thunderhawk for very long, but it was a fun game. Just lots of things getting killed. It was close on my part because this was one where if you got on the objective on the Tracer side, you could gradually reduce the points that you could win from the objective until finally it was worth nothing. And my guys are pretty resilient until the wolves come and smack them with close combat. But it's fairly fun.
I mean, I think I won this even though it was ambush.
You did. It was ambush. That was
but it was against James Collett. So a great opponent, one of the highlight people that we play, and great time. He had Alpha Legion with some Blood Angels, and he had the same kind of. I got super lucky, so though I'm cursing my luck in the game against the Custodes, it was the complete opposite against poor James's Blood Angels. So, for example, he had the 2+ guys, what are they called?
Dawnbreakers.
Dawnbreakers, jetpack fellas,
jetpack spears,
Well, he didn't really want the Whirlwind Scorpions to land on top of them and then get an awful lot of AP2 against them. Really did a number on them, and that was just like, oh man, that sucked really badly. I just managed to keep out of the way of his shooting and was pretty good enough to sort of return fire and just dull down some of the big units he had. So if he had like Blood Angels, and obviously, he had the Blood Angels, which I think might have been Allied Detachment and Loyalist Alpha Legion. He used that unit we talked about. I can't remember what they're called.
The disruption.
The Ifrit disruption thing. They were pretty good with their shotguns. I thought they were quite cool. Quite a cool little unit. But again, I think I just had enough and managed to just sort of hang on. He had to try and come and get me. He deployed all of it. I deployed my stuff in that kind of circle deployment.
Yeah.
But then he deployed second, and he deployed everything on one side, which is good because it means that actually, damn, my things that were on the other side now have to move. I've got some range there. But yeah, I think in this mission, I think we deployed first, or something like that. But we also went second, which made it really hard, because that turn one's super important on that game.
Yeah, in that mission.
Yeah,
because
if
anyone's got templates, so it used to be the back in when Typhons were king.
Yeah,
ambush and the Typhon were just like, no,
goodbye,
see ya,
night sailor. But yeah, like I said, I think I just managed to hold on. I think I scored a lot of points early doors, which you have to do with these kinds of missions. And sort of sacrificed units just to score points, which is important, just to give myself enough of a point buffer that I knew that if I could grind down some of his units, he couldn't claw enough back.
Yeah,
and that's how it kind of panned out. But again, a really great game against James Carr. I really like playing him. Always some serious thought, and I had to work super hard for that.
Oh yeah,
for that win. To be honest with you, it wasn't like by any stretch of the imagination. It was close all the way through. So those are usually the best games.
Very much so.
So yeah, all in all, I thought it was a great event. I've got to say, it was really well run, super professionally put together. No shenanigans, no carry on. It was all what you were playing, what you were doing. Sort of a mission kind of update on what was going on in the world. There was some Zone Mortalis going on as well, which was cool. There was this kind of third party influence, this other kind of entity that was sort of trying to screw things over, that was neither not working on either side basically. So yeah, the whole thing was good. I got some engagement from the story as well, which was great. But yeah, overall really, really well run, really well. I would recommend it as a really good event. They had secret missions as well, which there's sorts of things like that they've sort of put in. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, right. You played a few more games, didn't you, though, Graham, as well?
Did I ever? Flipping heck! It was non-stop Heresy. The Heresy train did not stop for me this month. So a couple of weeks after that, I then went to another event. This time much closer to home in York, run by the Serpent's Lodge. So
these are the people that
we're going
to the one in April.
Yeah. So this was a really cool event. It was a nice venue actually. It was like in a big. Not community centre, but a bit like a community centre, but it kind of had like an on-built sort of restaurant and stuff, which was great, and the shop and things. Nice parking, which is of course important. But yeah, nicely sort of set out event. And again, another really well-run clockwork, like event. Yeah. They had this cool kind of concept that before each game you have this small kind of skirmish game.
This Vanguard
strike thing, which actually I thought, it's going to be proper faff. But it was really enjoyable.
I've got to build models for that.
Yeah, I mean, I just chucked in some. I mean, you basically had a list of things that you could add. I just used tactical squads basically, but it was good fun. It was kind of like you had to react if you detected things, and once you got the hang of it, it was super quick. But I just thought, that's a nice little thing. Gives you kind of like advantage in the next game for like first turn and stuff. But I actually thought it worked really, really well. The missions, again, they were good, well thought out, all super interesting. I didn't actually lose a game, which is unheard of for me. But yeah, I was clearly I'd been playing so much that I'd kind of got my army down pat. This was the Ultramarines, which are a much stronger proposition than the Sons of Horus. But yeah, I really enjoyed the day actually. I actually got best loyalist.
Oh,
I mean, the loyalists got absolutely trounced. So I was but I was actually, out of all those that got trounced, I was the best. I got a £15 voucher and a little certificate and everything.
Oh, not bad.
So I know, right. So but the Ultramarines are great. I mean, they're a super strong legion, to be honest with you. And so I had some really cool games. I'm trying to remember who I played and what sorts of armies they had. I remember playing against the Khitan. That was fantastic fun. And I felt a little bit sorry. This was the only one of the missions that was slightly unfavourable. So, and I think we've had this before where you have objectives that you can blow up.
Ah, yes.
And the problem with objectives you can blow up is that I could just blow them all up first turn and basically get 12 victory points. And then the other person could do nothing because I've blown all the objectives up because I've got a big shooting army, and there's nothing they could do about it. And he knew that. So yeah, turn one, I'm just like, yeah, I'm really sorry, but I'm just going to boom, 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 blow up all the objectives. I've got 12 points. There's only 3 left on the board now. You know, you cannot win. But we had a great ding dong of a battle after that. To be fair, World Eaters it was, so they're always super tough.
So they wouldn't have cared about the objectives anyway.
No, the Khitan was great fun to fight against. No slouch at all, but yeah, really good laugh. Great player. Probably, yeah, that was a really cool battle actually, that one. But all the games I played were a great deal of fun. So yeah, I played against some sort of auxilia with some Marines as well. So yeah, all in all, that was a good day out. I think you know, it was a really good, another really well run event.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely recommend that. In fact, so much so that we're going to go to their event in April next year.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Throw some dice.
Yeah, but again, I took quite a strong list, and I thought I'd overdone it a bit. But I hadn't. None of the games I waltzed, they were all pretty close. So I think I just about gauge that kind of right.
Very cool.
Yeah,
and then that's the thing, is it's finding that sweet spot. Yeah,
you know, because you never know, and some events you're thinking, oh, I'll go with that, that'll be okay. And he's like, oh my god, I've seriously underpowered my event, my game. It's usually that I find I usually undercook it rather than overcook it. To be honest,
I think we always go, oh no, we don't want to do.
Yeah, we don't want to be that guy, and it's like everybody else is that guy, and we are really not. That guy.
we are the other guy.
Yeah, we are the wrong guy.
Yes.
I had a couple of games at Durham, so played against Ultramarines with Sons of Horus. This is a really nicely painted army, actually. Again, just eked to victory. Both persons fairly new to Heresy, but they knew their onions. They obviously come from a 40k background.
Yeah.
Some good units in there, things like 10-man multi-melter squad, which was something that you don't really want to get return fire from, as I found out to my cost. So yeah, we'll leave them lying around for too long because they will hurt you. But yeah, it was a good game actually. I said just managed to eke the win. Played against Anthony in a kind of ongoing fun and games, so that's good. And then finally had a game against Andrew, just 1,000 points this time, just a beginner game, just to kind of do some intro into the rules against his 1,000 points of World Eaters, including a big 8 or 9 man Gal Vorback squad, which is really tough. They are super tough, Gal Vorback.
They are.
They are not to be trifled with. They are not easy to get through. If I was a World Eaters player, also a Word Bearers player, I would have loads of them because they are pretty baller. So yeah, all good times. But yeah, I was pretty much gamed out by that point. I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough for now. I'm going to have a break. I didn't go out last night to play. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
And that was it. So yeah, good fun games. Lots of events, great to go to. Thoroughly enjoying going to them and seeing how. But all the ones I've been to have been really good, really well run. So clearly, the standard of Heresy events is definitely up there.
Fantastic.
Oh, good. We can retire in peace knowing that.
I think we can. Yeah.
Other people are taking it on.
Handing the baton on.
Yeah. That's it. Taking our ideas and.
Although quite what we can do with that shipping container full of scenery. Remains to be seen.
And you had some other games as well, yeah?
That was it. I can't think of anything. That's just those three in Durham. Those are the ones.
I did have a game of Zone Mortalis with Paul Briggs, and I got beaten quite convincingly.
Iron Wolves.
Iron Warriors. Yeah, Dominators, really, really, really good.
We talked about these, didn't we? And we were like, oh, these are a bit meh. And then we looked at them and like, actually, no, they're flipping great value.
I had a very suboptimal list, to be fair. So yeah, it was fine.
They're all thunder hammers and hatred, aren't they?
Yeah, I got beaten quite convincingly. I was just feeding, stuff to his Dominators, and they were just getting killed. But that was fun. And I also started a Siege of Cophonia campaign with my friend Russell over at Hartlepool Games on Friday, and it was fine. The first game the book says, take 3,000 points, then the other player takes 3,750. So instead I took 3,250 and he took 2,500. So I won, but I think that's more because I had so much more than him, and that was 2 Land Raiders and a Spartan as well. So
nice.
Yeah.
Good heck, Mr. B.
It was horrible.
Those Halloween lists have clearly rubbed off on you.
That's it.
Was it all Phalanx Warders or whatever they are?
No,
Templar
Brethren.
Which is the worst one? Is it Phalanx Warders?
It's kind of different horses for different courses.
Okay, fair enough.
Phalanx, Templar Brethren, 2+ armor save.
Yeah.
All power swords.
Yes.
All
but
sorts of unpleasantness.
It was an interesting mission as well, because it's like you only start off with so much of your units. And then the rest have to come on as reserves from the table edge.
Okay.
But literally all of in turn 2, every single one of my reserve rolls was, they're coming on. So, and his came on a bit more piecemeal. So,
right. So you kind of had that imbalance where you'd kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was a kind of, he had to hold the objectives while mine was kill points. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah,
I beat him quite well. But we're going to have another match on the 1st, and I'm going to be unbalanced then, so I'm going to have less points then. So
I'm with you.
Okay,
cool, very good.
Chris played a game as well. I like to. He's sort of. We've had a preview of his thoughts on the game. So
yeah, he wasn't massively happy about things. It must be said. A bit like me, usually on the end of day one of most events.
Day one. It's fine. So I played my dear friend and new inhabitant of the Paint Shack on the show, Mr. Smith, continued our casual war between every army I have and his stupid bloody Death Guard. And
looking for something that'll beat them.
Yeah, it's been a few days, so I've had time to sort of sit back and think. So
did he beat you or did you lose?
Well, both. We played one of the Cathonia missions that was only 4 rounds.
4 turns, yeah, they're all 4 turns.
Yeah, 4 turns, yeah. Which, if I'm honest with you, although it's good because it makes the game quicker, it's much harder to get yourself out of a hole in 4 turns than it is over 5 or 6 turns. Yeah, it's. By the end of turn 2,
it can be all over.
I said to him, you've won, don't you? Because I couldn't have done enough to get back from the situation that I was in at that point.
Right. Yeah. So, you didn't mess about. I thought you said you were going to take quite a strong.
I did. There are a few things that, because I play infrequently.
Yeah.
And then in my head, I've still got 1.0 custodians in my head as well.
I see, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take my bikes for a change. They're all going to have las cannons.
Yeah.
They're going to rinse through X, Y, and Z. I'm going to take 2 dreadnoughts. I'm going to take the tank.
Yeah.
I took the tank because I love the tank, and I haven't used one for ages and ages. But the thing that I always forget about the Corvée las pulses is they're AP3. And AP3 against dreadnoughts is
waste of time.
So, and I had kind of forgotten that until I was rolling dice, and then
he's returning fire.
So Custodian's dreadnoughts, they are good at punching things.
Yeah,
but they've got to get there to punch things.
Yeah, normal. This guy didn't have any trouble getting close to me.
Normal Space Marine dreadnoughts have a good advantage against them because they can take melter weapons and stuff like that. An Armor Bane, you reroll wounds against. So he had melters in the fist. He had a Leviathan with a Cyclonic Melter Lance. And they just did for my two. That just basically did for my 2 dreadnoughts.
They would. I would imagine that a Leviathan would better take one of the dreadnoughts. Then they got instant death, haven't they? Those spears.
No, they don't.
Oh.
Their strength. This is it. Because again, old rules. They're strength 12, AP 1, but they're not instant death.
Oh, right.
And they're not brutal either. So you're actually better off.
Oh, they are terrible then.
They're good for taking out vehicles, but you're better off probably taking just fists and getting brutal 3 out of all the fists.
Yeah, you totally do. Yeah.
So,
can you do that? Can they take all? Fists?
Yeah, they can take 2 fists. Yeah, they come with 1 fist and they come with 1 spear.
But the spears are.
But in my head,
is a shooting weapon as well, isn't it?
In my head, yeah, exactly. In my head, the spear is the better weapon to use in combat.
But it isn't.
And it was only until afterwards when I was looking at it, going,
"Why did you hit him with a brutal 3 weapon?
Why did I not just clatter him with the fist at my higher initiative?"
Yeah, because he's only initiative 4. The Dreadnoughts were initiative 4, though, aren't they? Yeah, because I thought they were initiative 5 and they weren't. They're 4.
Oh, they are 5. Yeah, sorry. But anyway, with my extra attacks because I've got Nemesis as well. So I was thinking, in hindsight, that's what I should have done. And they really didn't do a lot.
Brutal is key.
Brutal
really.
is absolutely king. So the 2 Dreadnoughts didn't do a lot.
But again, that's just like lack of sort of match fitness, isn't it? If you see what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't know against his shooty heavier list anyway. It wouldn't have made, by the time, even though we were close, so basically my plan was to sandwich him so that he couldn't move back from me while one part of the list advanced.
Yeah.
So he would basically fall back into Valdor, 10 spear guys, the Heterons, and a Tribune.
So that requires you to deep strike, I assume.
Which I did.
Yeah. And how did that go?
Well, the actual deep. So I got my reserve roll off, which was great.
Ooh.
Deep struck.
Yes.
But scattered to within an inch. And then
you're danger close. You're danger close.
I wasn't massively danger close.
No, right.
But I just
11 or something.
I scattered, like 9-10 inches.
And you can't take a nuncio box anyway, can you?
There's no way to modify the roll. So then he gets to reposition that unit 24 inches away. Everything else then has to come in within 12 inches of that unit. So
that's because it's a disorganized thing. Is it 12 or 24 or something, isn't it?
They still came in roughly where I wanted them. But the key unit that was relatively key was the furthest one at the back, so it couldn't engage. Because
and you wanted them turn 2 charge from the deep strike.
Get a unit out, or get a couple of units out. So Heterons are kind of useless for a turn. The thing with deep strike assault.
Yep.
If they turn up within 6 inches of a unit, that unit has to make a pinning check.
It does, yeah.
He's failed a couple of pinning checks, so that was good.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. So that made life a little bit easier.
Did he intercept you, though?
He did with some units, yeah, but didn't do an awful lot.
Okay, cool.
Just did a couple of wounds on one. Nothing really major at that point. But the thing that... So at this point, my tank's kind of useless. My bikes were dead at this point because they're 3+ armor save.
3+ armor save, yeah.
And I'm not going to bother with them in the future. Yeah. Dreadnoughts are kind of functionally useless. So I'm relying on 3 Guardian Spear squads, 2 characters, and a Heteron squad to get through roughly 70 models.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's a tough ask.
One of those models is Mortarion. Now, one of the things that so Valdor goes into combat.
You got Valdor.
I have got Valdor. Valdor goes into combat with a unit.
I kind of feel like this is a little bit like that bit in Downfall. You know, that Downfall parody. Yeah. Hitler's in the bunker. It's like, that's okay. We've got so and so here, and then all of them going, excuse me. Yeah, Valdor's going to go against Mortarion, and he's got rolling 2s.
Rolling 2s for the armor save, the invulnerable save was not ideal. The thing that did for me in this game wasn't necessarily Mortarion's combat ability, but his presence.
Oof.
Because he enables...
Bring them in a sort of nicely wrapped presence?
He did. He brought 2 presents, and they were 2 hands with all bar one of the fingers on each hand clenched.
Okay,
So
what he does is he makes that unit, all the Death Guard units, in combat, they don't take leadership modification for the wounds that they've taken.
So they basically become stubborn.
Yeah. Now, one of the things about the Custodians is you want to get in, kill, sweeping advance, move on.
Yeah.
So
next,
please, absolutely. Valdor got stuck with some Death Shroud guys that were, he didn't roll less than I think a 5, higher than a 5 for a leadership save at any point anyway. But when you're causing Custodians numbers of wounds, you're expecting to sweeping advance and
basically you're going to do like 10, 15 wounds or whatever. They're going to be on double one or on the toes.
See ya, off you go, chop it down. And that was the plan: was do enough wounds, kill that unit, get out, move back. So that I've got the advantage when it comes to Mortarion coming in.
So you're charging him rather than him charging you.
Yeah, whereas Valdor got stuck with his guys, and that allowed Mortarion to come into the combat and just nuisance, basically. Yeah, rolling 2s for invulnerable save sucked big old.
I can imagine.
But so then I had to throw the Heteron into that as well. No one survived that fight. It was a big old punch up.
Yeah.
But was that turn 2 or turn 3?
So that's turn 3 by the time the Heteron come into it. There's only one turn left at that point to really try and rescue it. I'm not going to do that because we're playing a mission that's 3 objective markers.
Couldn't you have challenged Theme out?
Well, Valdor and him were fighting until Valdor died.
Okay, got it.
So at that point, and then it was, I'm just going to try and overspill.
You could have cheesed it, so you could have. I think they're chosen warriors, aren't you? You could just sent chosen warriors to the challenge again. But then he could have done the same with the Death Shroud. Yeah,
exactly. So it didn't really make any, and it made more sense for Valdor was the more survivable choice against.
Yeah,
and he goes first as well against the Mortarion, so he's got advantages.
Yeah,
but I just couldn't make anything sort of stick on any of them.
There's games like where you just don't feel you laid a glove on them, no matter what you.
I mean,
definitely.
I knew I'd laid a glove on him because at the end of it he had Mortarion, 1 Dreadnought, 10 guys, and a Praetor left out of 70 odd models. So I knew
you've done some damage.
I knew, but there were things like 1 las cannon guy holding up my Tribune and another single Guardian Spear guy because it's stubborn, basically. So you're just like, I just want him to die so I can just move on and reposition and get stuff stuck back in. I don't. But it was mathematically it was over by the end of turn 2. I couldn't have turned it around at that point. He killed the first unit, had 2 objectives, 1 locked down for the rest of the game at that point, 1 that I could kill.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, I just got to basically just go on a rampage and kill as much of you as I can do. Which, I mean,
that's one way to do it, isn't it?
They can do. They can quite happily just murder their way around a table. I don't think there was anything I would have changed how I approached it. Another game turn would have been useful.
Yeah.
Was
it just the composition of the unit? So, like say, the bikes did nothing.
Bikes,
bikes. Infantry mainly.
The bikes and the tank will be replaced with infantry next time round.
They're no slouches. They move for 8 movement for your basic.
Yeah.
They're
laddie, aren't they? So
they're quick, slouch. But if they get stuck in combat,
that is true. I suppose the Mortarion being kind of adding that buff.
And so you've got an army that can move and shoot. It's all entirely stubborn.
Yep.
It's got rad grenades, which are
a pain for you.
Chew on.
Makes you
makes me toughness.
Makes you mortal.
So all power fists can instant death.
Doesn't it not affect instant death?
It does affect instant death.
Does it? Oh God, I thought it didn't.
It does. Oh
Wow.
yeah, no.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
I thought it was like it doesn't affect instant death, but it does. Wow.
Note, this does affect instant death thresholds. Oof. Yeah. So.
Okay, because that's always the trouble with going up against the. I suppose is that you can't double the buggers out. But rad grenades is the future. Let me just get some.
It was kind of it's kind of the perfect antithesis army for me.
Yeah, because the things that you rely on are you're not doubling out and being able to get people to leg it,
chomp through speed and get through and move on to the next, and it's very much not
nice.
That. So,
cool.
Yeah, it was a good game. We always have a good laugh. But
one day. So you're basically going to ditch. You're just going to go full on infantry.
So I mean, that's 500 points if I can take out of that list.
Yeah, I mean,
and replace with
when the dreadnoughts be all right though without the spears. Just see what I mean.
There is, but I'd have to completely remodel them because they're all modelled with spears and stuff. And
nothing a snipper can't solve, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
there you go.
There is that.
I've done that with all my dreadnoughts, by the way. I literally was going around going, snip arms, they're useless. Get them off. Getting rid of, things that you just don't need anymore. But yeah, I mean, again, 2 fists might, because that brutal 3 would be super useful.
Yeah, the strength 9 AP3 Corvée Les Pulsar. For what?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
you're right.
9 AP3. I mean, it's something and nothing.
Yeah,
because it's going to get through the armor. It's not going to give you anything extra to.
No, you're right.
Yeah, so it's sort of something and nothing. So I don't really think there's a benefit in taking Corvée Les Pulsars anymore.
I thought they were AP2.
Okay. They used to be, but they're AP3 now.
Good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I'll change in the list going forwards. Certainly for April, it will be a less a more honed list because we're gonna have another big game in January at some point. So
I suppose they're heavy 3, aren't they? So against a normal, can I sort of glance something to death? You've got 3 bikes. It's
D3. They're not heavy 3.
Oh no, heavy 3.
I thought they were D3. Oh well.
No. Corvée Les Pulsars heavy 3.
Well, I was underdoing my shots quite a lot then.
You totally were.
See, old rules, rattling around in the old.
So you've got 9 shots from 3 bikes. Strength 9.
Strength 9 AP3.
This AP3 is the
killer because he's always going to roll his 2-up and armor saves against.
Yeah, unless you kind of chuck him into his heavy sports squad, but then they'll shoot you back, of course.
Yeah, and I can kill those in a more effective way.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not taking vehicles, then because you could certainly glance things to death with 9 shots.
Yeah. Well, that's why I took them in. I was expecting him to have a Spartan that I was going to have to crack a nut with. That's why I took them.
Yeah.
But then he just rolled up with a load of
with Mortarian instead. Yeah.
So
cool. Yeah, heavy 3 they are. Strength, but they are 24-inch range, so they are pretty short range. Anything you shoot is going to shoot you back.
Something and nothing.
Mind you, I suppose because you're toughness 5, as long as you haven't been rad grenaded or whatever, you can weather the storm there from a 10-man las cannon squad.
Well, not with a 2+, not with a 3+ armor save, I can't.
But yeah, but they would have to. I mean, how many jetbikes have got how many wounds?
They're only 2 wounds apiece.
Okay, yeah, but they are toughness 5 because you're toughness 5, aren't they?
Yes, but again, they're going to get there. But I'm going to be doing
6
on
wounds,
6 plus invulnerable saves. So
no, you're right. I mean, I guess they might be one of those things you could sacrifice to take out a las cannon squad.
So they're 3 wounds apiece, but even so. But it's such 265 points for that squad.
You would just tank. I'd imagine that someone like Mr. Smith would just tank them on the Artificer armoured sergeant and just basically roll 2 pluses to save all those strength 9 shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bikes.
Fair enough.
I mean, again, they're good if you get them into assault because they've got strength 10 attacks, AP1 attacks as well. But they're only 2 on the two of those each on the charge. But it's just that AP3ness that they're 3+ armor save. By the time they're not hard to kill massively. So
no, that's true. Okay, cool.
Anyway, yes.
All right.
Gameplay.
So shall we move on to State of the Union then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, now it's time for that bit of the month where we go through what's been happening in the world of Heresy and I suppose of wargaming in general to a bit. So we're going to start with the State of the Union and go to Chris to tell us about something that's been super successful.
Big changes, ladies and gentlemen. Big changes as Forge World website was burnt down and replaced with a tower to Games Workshop as they merged the websites.
Effigy.
Exactly.
Monument to
its own
1,000-year reign.
Its own fallacy.
Yeah.
Has Black Library been incorporated, or is that still separate?
That's,
just out of interest.
Physical books are still in there, but the rest of it is the digital stuff is still separate.
As you can see, Graham's been viciously attacked there.
Yeah. Manhandled by Dachshund puppy thing. Yes, you, Mister. Settle down.
Blends into your background slightly.
It does.
It looks very hard. Just stroking nothing for a moment there. It's very weird. So yes, Forge World and Games Workshop sites retail have now combined into one. Is it as good as before? Survey says probably not. But it's slightly more convenient.
View.
It's slightly more convenient because it's all in one place. But
it kind of reminds me of a what's the word I'm looking for? Furniture website.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
The thing is also that deliveries are 1 billion years for anything to be delivered.
To be fair, that's been like that way for a little while they've been
10 days for a delivery, I was quoted.
Yeah, because the Forge World used to be like the day after. Next day.
When I was a lad, setting out in the world, when all this was fields, and you got 4 postal deliveries a day.
That's right.
You ordered from Forge World.
Watch a film. Yeah. Have a fish supper. Come home. I still have change from 3 bob.
Exactly. You could order from Forge World. Know you're going to get it in 2-3 days max.
Yeah. They've been doing that whole it's 10 days for a while now. I think since earlier this year when they realised we've got to sort this stuff out because it's broken.
So that was kind of
do you know what? Just to sort of not to say that we're a paid podcast by stretch of imagination, but I did order some stuff quite late on from Element Games. It was here the next day.
Yeah,
they
do the first class post. I think quite late in the sort of last knockings of the day.
Yeah, at 5 I think it's anything ordered after 3 o'clock is usually next day.
I was so impressed. I even left a review on Trustpilot as to how impressed I was. I know that's how impressed I was with it. And they said, "Oh, thank you very much for a lovely review."
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah,
there
you go.
So yes, new website. Check it out if you want to buy stuff from directly. Things like £27 assassin models that are no bigger than a single militia model, and yet us.
He's not going to let that go, is he?
Not happy about that. I can understand why.
Absolute nonsense.
Yeah, that is somewhat nonsense.
£27.50 for a single assassin.
And that's for the nonsense assassin, like the one that's just got like a pair of headphones on or something, isn't it?
He's got a couple of a sword on his back, and that's about it. He's not exactly the most detailed of models.
Yeah, I was going to say. Wow.
But anyway.
Okay.
That's another grumble for another time.
Okay, awesome.
What's next?
It's become customary with major releases. Games Workshop let their staff take a shot at the new Mark III and Derridera kits. And the results were a bit mixed, according to Mr. B's critical eye.
There were a few people who were very upset about some of the some of the models. I think there was some white models there. I think there were lunar walls that some of people were very mad about and saying that shouldn't have been on the website. It looks terrible. It's not the best.
I mean, that's just the internet.
That's just it.
Okay.
Just I like. There's something I quite like. I like Dan's Blood Angels. I like the red on those.
Yeah.
They're all pretty. They're all pretty good. They're not. I wouldn't be too disappointed to put them out myself.
The Iron Warriors look pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, they aren't. Yeah. I mean,
they're good tabletop ready. Some are better than others.
Word bearers are good, but yeah, okay, fair enough. All right.
I'm looking at the tanks actually. I think with the Derrideros, there's a lot of sort of flat surface.
It's a hard model to get any kind of personality.
That Death Guard one's very nice. I like the Death Guard.
We don't know how long they had to paint these either, did we?
No, exactly.
No. That's
probably
true.
It's never very long, isn't it? I know when they've released models out into the wild for people, it's generally you get it on a Monday or a Tuesday, and you've got to get the photo back, mid to late week. So
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I like the Night Lords Derrideau. That's good.
Yeah,
it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, this is a bit ridiculous. It's derpy, but I kind of want to use it as a assassin. But the Mechanicum Sidonia Skatos was revealed. Derpy. Yeah.
What is
derpy, this
like
word that you've just made up?
It's not made up. It's a word. I don't know if it's in the dictionary, but it's like
this monstrosity.
Silly, stupid, idiotic.
Get it in the bin.
But yeah, it's kind of mental. It's kind of mental, and I like that. I just want to use it as an assassin because I know it'll annoy some people. But I can
like
imagine
the gun.
Yeah,
I would happily use the gun on a Vindicate. I think that would look really cool.
Yeah,
I think this is possibly the worst model I've ever seen Games Workshop make.
I still think if you pop that in a Blanche Chetsu style scheme, I think it'll look amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
All sepias.
I thought their plane thing was the stupid helicopter thing was trash.
I quite like that as well. In fact, I bought the model and painted it.
Oh, I love that.
Why is his exhaust pipes down between his legs? How's that going to work?
I think it's well. I think it's just silly and enough that it just reminds me of all the old school stuff that we used to have back in the day, and I kind of really I just like the look of it.
I think it is pretty Blanchescu, I've got to be honest with you.
It's going to snap like a mofo the moment you put it in a box.
Probably, but I think if you got it with the sepias and the coffee colours, I think it looks
and the oranges and
exactly.
I'll take the gun. You can keep the rest of it.
You can.
Okay. All right, we'll move on then. What you got, Chris?
Absolute trash model. Anyway, where am I? More things that are being a potential new militia vehicle, which is a Necromunda model. It's the Skavian Explorator. What are we doubling this up as? Some
sort of transport rhino-y type thing.
Lunar buggy. Yes. It just, when I look at it, I just see something out of the most recent Independence Day film. I don't know why, but I look at it and that's what immediately springs to mind.
Fair enough.
Is Independence Day.
It doesn't look very military.
No, it's more
scientific.
That's what I imagine. I imagine goes and visits the Titanic.
Yeah,
it's a submarine, isn't it? It's the
I think
guy at the bottom again with the big gun.
Yeah,
but
which I think is a bit of a shame for the dwarves, really, because I thought they would have definitely had proper tanks, not exploration vehicles. But yeah, I mean, it's great if you're exploring the bottom of the sea, but doesn't look quite so meaningful if you're coming up against a Bane blade, for example. I'd rather have.
I think it's because it's got that rounded front with that view, of that porthole. kind of vibe.
It's a cool looking thing. It is a cool looking thing. Don't get me wrong. Just not sure it's a military vehicle.
A bit too aquatic.
Fair enough.
Because it's got those
Life
Aquatic.
well. Steve Zissou. That's the film I was thinking about.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So moving on from that. What
so far, Mr. B, you're on 0 for 2.
Fair enough.
Here we go again. Mind you, this is terrain, so we're usually on pretty solid ground here. Mr. B with his, is he going to go 3 for 0? Ash waste themed. If your terrain is already ash waste themed, of course, then Warhammer Community showed off a decent article on making the best use of the terrain and adapting it with other kits. I even put out a second one too.
Yep.
Says Mr. B with exclamation marks. So, what am I looking at here, Mr. B?
This is sort of like, just terrain. This is just like the houses on stilts and stuff. It's just how to do some different stuff with it. So
I think he's got 0 for 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mr. B, that's it. It's gonna be a walk if you get from 0 for 4. No strikes.
Yep. Okay, fair enough. Okay, then. Right, so speaking of terrain, Sarissa Precision, they've got a new trench system, which doesn't look too bad for the price. £57.50 at the minute for a pretty decent amount of trench stuff that wouldn't look too bad on a 40k.
He's just about managed to save himself from the walk.
Nicked it at the end.
Yeah, okay, we'll allow it.
Yeah, so
not bad, 57 quid. What do you actually get in the set? Let's have a look.
4 trench straights, 1 firing position, 2 T-section, 4 corners, 4 angle corners, entrances, and some dead ends. So
not huge though, is it?
No, but it'll be wood and yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, it looks pretty authentic. It's painted up.
Yeah, and they're all in 2 halves as well. So all those pieces are in 2 halves, so they can be split up to.
Okay. All right.
Well, so yeah.
Just about got it there at the end. All right.
Okay, fair enough.
Army Painter are launching a new range of paints soon. Fanatic, which claims extremely good color coverage, practical color naming, and expanded triads. I wasn't aware we'd gone into the Asian gangster
organised crime syndicate. What the hell is this? Expanded triads.
Moved into
basically, you know how right in a lot of paint systems it's like triads. You got a dark, a mid, and a light, and you sort of can use them to sort of do various different things. And in this range, they've got like triads which have 6 paints in them, so it's like any 3 from them can form their own little triad or something. So it's an interesting idea, and
okay, yeah.
So it really depends what if you're interested in that kind of thing. But it's they're making a lot of claims about this paint.
Don't people mix paint anymore? I mean, I know you have a problem. You don't necessarily do. I would just mix that green and just add some cream to it and make one of those colours. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Old school.
But they're making a lot of claims about this paint. Like it'll, the coverage is like apparently really good. Like you can just paint straight onto black without any real issue.
Multiple coats. Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it is what they do, because they've made a really, really, really big deal out of it. So.
They have made a big deal out of it, haven't they? I mean, Army Painters big business, aren't they? I mean, they do shift some units.
Yeah, I've never been keen on their paints. I love their brushes, just not necessarily their paint. So we'll see what.
I don't think I've used their paints.
Bone paint is what I used for my Eldar bases, for my webway bases.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
it's just
they've got
enough for this.
Yeah, they've got a lot going on there. So. We'll see what it is. They're coming out as big packs soon, and then individual paints next year, I think it is. And then we'll see what it is. I mean, they've still got daft names, but then on the side of them, they've got like a simple name, like Greeny Blue or something, like Greeny Blue and stuff like that. Gotcha. So we'll see. But it does look like an interesting idea.
So there are 5 major triad groups in the organised crime, maybe 6.
What are you going to say?
Circle Gang, Big 4, the Wu Group, 14K, and the Chui Chow Group. are apparently their names.
Is that right? Now Army Painter are joining that.
And now they own Army Painter. One of them does. So there you go.
Good. Cool.
Yeah, but
Excellent.
no, tryouts are quite common in Paint. So
okay, very good.
20,000 members in the 14K triad group.
I would have thought it. Wow. Okay. We've got an article on how Fulgrim Transfigured was designed from Warhammer Community, of course, which was an interesting read according to Mr. B. Also, GW, we know who it is. Just use the full name.
Yeah, they've had this habit of not using full names recently. Like they just called Sam Egan to Sam. And it's like, we know who it is. You've talked about him before, so, stop treating us like babies.
Sam's the one that he's done most of the Primax, or all
yes, he has,
all of them, hasn't he? Yeah.
Oh, is this whole thing about them not wanting people to run off and start their own YouTube channels?
Yeah, I think so.
So don't give them any, keep them as, maybe they should put number 74.
Well, that's
down.
why if you look in the books now, it's always got written by the studio or written by the X team or Y team.
Yeah, that's been that way for quite a few years because a lot of people started getting upset with certain writers of the code. Because all that was they were just the people who wrote the lore. They weren't actually anything to do with
the rules and stuff.
Yeah.
Was that? I mean, there was always that thing about Matt Ward, wasn't there?
Yeah. Like he was I think one of the best examples of that. People were sending death threats through him and stuff, and it's like, what on earth is going on here? Yeah, it's like he just writes the fluff. He doesn't actually write the rules.
Got ya. Okay. So anyway, interesting read if that floats your boat.
Yeah, but definitely. So it just sort of says how they put that down. So I guess we need to mention the Rogel Captain Pike Dawn figure that Joy from Joy Toy, not a maker of bedroom toys.
How much?
$139.99.
Shit, I read that's $13.99. I was like, oh, that's all right. No, I'm not buying it for £140. Put that in Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, you should see some of the Transformer prices, mind you, but
absolutely out of their freaking minds.
This is crazy. It's like, is this made to order or something? I don't know.
£140.
What about that Barnet though?
Well, the hair is awful, which is a main reason I'm not spending £140 on it.
That looks like a bad day at the salon for Liberace.
I mean,
if I'm honest, it really does look awful.
It looks
what's
like
going on with that? It looks like it's got a syrup on, doesn't it? Basically,
what I can only imagine is when they were doing the design, they went, "Oh yeah, we're going to spend like hours and hours getting the intricacy of the armor correct. Got to get that the cape float correct."
Yeah.
And then they realised like 20 minutes before the deadline, oh shit, he's got a Friar Tuck haircut. What are we going to do? I'll quickly just shove this on top.
Yeah, it looks like he's one of these.
It looks like someone's got whipped cream on his head.
Yeah. It looks like one of these men who's got literally like just got the sides of their hair and then like nothing.
Yeah.
And they've got, and then it's like, oh, quick, put a wig on to cover that up. That's what that looks like.
It's
also some serious hair.
The problem, I think it's because of the hair. I can't take him seriously.
It all goes horribly wrong from there on in.
If I was a human and this chap walked up to me, I'd be like terrified until I saw the hair and I went, what is that?
Yeah.
What about Baldy Locks? Do you want to?
Yeah. What's happened to your Barnet, son?
Yeah. Where's the rest of the badger?
Yeah.
It is
okay.
Quite.
There's some fun for you.
Just
not
100. What is 1/18? So it's 18 centimeters high. So it's not even that big. It's 18 centimeters high without being making a suggestive comment. Where's the tape measure?
That is some serious hair. So I think not one for you then, Chris. I take it.
Well, I was thinking about it, but then I didn't. But I hadn't realised at the time
It
was £140.
You can get
Because it'll,
Primark for that. They have got that Primark already.
Yeah, I've got them. I mean, no thanks.
So their range currently consists of. I mean, the Lion doesn't look too terrible, does he?
They've got quite a few interesting toys, but I don't know. They're not for me.
At least Gulliman's just got a helmet on, so he can't. He's a little bit golden, isn't he?
Like,
you can see his Barney.
You can't do wrong with him, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, okay.
That's not a bad one, actually.
So moving on then.
Swiftly.
Just
moving on.
£140
before Chris gets obsessed.
£30 for £30 more.
Yeah.
You can buy that old wingy lizard boy.
That's true. That's true. But then you've got to put that together and paint it, whereas you can just go, hey, here's my Rogal Dawn.
You still want to use it.
No, yeah, that's true enough. Okay, cool.
Okay.
It's over to you, I'm afraid.
Oh, is it? And with everyone getting on board the contrast/speed paint train, Vallejo are expanding their range of 24 paints with another 36 colours. So we're going to have a slightly different grey, slightly different pink. That's a YouTube video. Christ,
there is the link to the sort of full palette.
Yes, you've got like just a bunch of
So their express colours, they're kind of answer to
their
Games
contrast equivalent.
Contrasts. Yeah. Okay. I never use contrast paint, so
I've only used them to dilute and airbrush.
I use them all the time. They're great.
Layers, basically.
Yeah, no, I never used them. I mean, I've got
Templar white, Imperial yellow, Dreadnought yellow.
They're the same thing where you've got to put like a particular kind of undercoat on them, and then.
I think these are more. You can just use them with any kind of off-white type of thing.
Right, cool.
And it sort of also kind of determines the what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of what you put underneath it determines how warm what over the top looks like.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. Cool.
So if you use like Gracia, it's going to be a cooler, but if you use say Wraithbone, it will be warmer.
Right. Nice.
So
okay, yeah, everybody's getting on that train.
Get on that steer.
Yep. Everyone Hidalgo is following him on Facebook, I think. Okay. Next out the bag. Oh, hello. Late entry into the proceedings. We have a librarian console. Well, this of course is the master of the mystical White Scars Storm Seer.
The Michael Fish of the Heresy community.
Yeah, he can tell you it's going to rain tomorrow or not, basically. So yeah,
but don't depend on him for hurricane forecasts.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely.
He's kind of okay. Looks all right, I suppose, for a White Scar.
Not too bad. I think the only thing that's put a few people off is the fact that he's in Mark 6.
Mark 6, yeah.
Who isn't in Mark 6 these days, honestly?
Yeah,
with a Mark 3 stuff.
I like that.
Maybe.
I do like the Mongolian aesthetic they've done with the White Scars. I think it's always looked really nice.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got no idea how I would paint Mongolian type skin.
I'm sure there's a guide on it. Actually, that Mark
what you
6
do
helmet,
is you go to Vallejo and you pick up let's have a look.
But yeah, nice model. Nothing spectacular, to be fair. But yeah, don't know what White Scars players think about it, but there we go.
Yep. Anyway, right.
Khaki drill might be probably the closest.
Okay.
Possibly. But anyway. Right. What else have you got there, Graham, for us? Oh, no, it's me. It's Salute tickets are on sale. Great one-day general war games convention. Not a lot of Heresy. Games Workshop sometimes turn up. I don't know if they'll turn up this time. But it's a good day out for your soft shandy drinkers down south and a chance to meet up with some pals. So
soft shandy drinkers down south.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, Chris, over to you.
13th of April. So when are we going to? Oh, I can't remember.
24th.
No, I think it's the same weekend as that, isn't it? 13th.
Well, it might be, you know.
I think it is the same. Yes, the same weekend.
Right.
Yeah, not 24th. Where are we? Warhammer preview for this Saturday. I wonder what will be in it.
Do you think there's a chance it might be? Oh, look, more Lambus bread /
I've got a feeling it's going to be the Assault Squad.
So we've got. Which we last specifically mentioned. And there's a World Championships of Warhammer.
Oh, yeah, but we're not really that interested in that. So.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. The Grand Narrative Palette System. Okay, that sounds exciting. Okay, cool. So when's that? Saturday at 2 p.m. AEDT. What is AEDT?
It's at 3 a.m. I think on.
Jesus Christ! What is this madness? 3 a.m. GMT on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll let's do it at 10 o'clock in the morning. You know.
Yep.
Okay.
Hanging around.
Yeah. Wow, that is so what's CET, is that?
Central European Time.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like +1.
Yeah, 4 a.m. Yeah. Wow. Nice.
But yes, I expect we'll see the Assault Squad at last.
PST's Pacific Standard Time?
Pacific Standard Time, yeah, that's LA and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see the Assault Squad because that's what's due next, according to the plan. Or maybe get a character. I don't know, but I think we're looking at the Assault Squad there.
Hopefully it's something meaningful rather than just, like a singular character or something. It'd be better if it was. I hope it's something good anyway.
Yeah.
We shall see. But then it's a busy schedule, isn't it? Because obviously they pushed Imperialis back, hasn't it? So they want to be giving that all of the headlines they can, one assumes.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Very cool. Right. Moving on to Epic News / Imperialis News for the modern listener.
Okay. So,
Graham, what do we have?
What have they unveiled for us, Graham?
So, new units for Epic unveiled in the past month are the drop pods, including the Deathstorm drop pod.
I love Deathstorm drop pods. I wish they still were in the game.
A fast
Are they still in the game?
Yeah, I think they're in the legendary things, aren't they? A fast attack box with the Javelin approaches speeders, Scimitar jet bikes and Outrider bikes, Spartans, Dreadnought drop pods.
Plus they get Palisade drop pods.
Palisade drop pods.
Like a shield type drop pod. We don't have this in normal.
No. And some Land Raiders.
Yeah.
Palisade
it's got a force field. So it helps.
Yeah. It looks like a Dreadnought drop pod, basically.
Yeah.
Like a big Dreadnought drop pod. Yeah, Leviathans. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
And Land Raiders as well, Graham.
I said Land Raiders.
Oh, did you?
I
was looking at the drop pod. Okay, and the Solar Auxilia just got a Stormhammer.
Okay.
Yeah, Solar Rocks are the one thing I'm kind of looking forward to out of this whole game. And it's all power armor stuff at the moment.
So far, yeah, but the Stormhammers look awesome. So
yeah, tanks are great.
The little Land Raiders actually will take you back to playing the original Space Marine game.
Yeah. But,
very cool.
I'm really looking forward to Imperialis at some point, so I will grab it at some point.
To help make answering questions easier, because I'm not going to say the line that Mr. B has written here in case of getting myself down some sort of suggestive.
I'm confused.
Branch narrative there. Gito created a central page to collect all of the Epic articles so you can purvey them with ease these days. No beating off required, Mr. B.
I'm confused.
Come on, Mr. B. Okay.
Graham, what have we got?
We
There's
have
some
got
new things.
some community paint jobs too. So people obviously got these out in the wild. Yeah, nice. Kratos in, is that Ravenwing? Is it?
I think so.
Let's have a look. Internet's being a bit slow today. Yeah, that's Raven Guard. Absolutely.
I have no idea what that pink and themey is.
Like some sort of weird.
It's like gone off piece. Somebody's gone off based there, haven't they? Okay.
What one?
Second thing down.
Second thing.
Oh, is it white scars? Or maybe it's just come out as pink, not red.
Yeah, I think it's white scars.
Yeah, it's white scars.
The tone isn't quite there in the.
Does make them look a bit Hello Kitty-ish. So fair enough.
I can see where you're coming from, but yeah, I think it's meant to be.
Just doing that. Okay, white scars, and then some somebody called Gadge. They're Solar Auxilia. So
I like that
kind of
classic, isn't it?
Sort of 40k camouflage colours. So that looks good. Solar Auxilia in grey looks nice. Actually, that does look really nice. So some Gleaming Russes all lined up, ready to go. Night Lords with, goodness me, I wouldn't be doing that.
Oh, wow.
Quite a lot of detail on a tank that's tiny.
About 2 inches long,
Yeah. And then Grog, the Solar Auxilia again. One of those tanks looks like it's from the People's Republic Army, if I'm honest with you, doesn't it? It has that that kind of Soviet.
I would expect that to be
sort
of rolling around.
Sort of placing in a sort of military parade or something. Okay, fair enough. And then just some various bits and bobs really. Some people have managed to get their hands on some of the
diorama and stuff.
Little diorama for the Sicarans. So I do not like the Omegas with the flat. They just don't look as good.
It doesn't look as good. It
does not look
really jarring.
Really
well, I've got a feeling that's how they'll come out when they come out in plastic.
They come out in plastic, I think you're probably right. So, the big question we have, of course, is how much are we going to go in on this malarkey? I think all of us are sort of, we might get the rule book, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to get the rule book to start, because I think I don't want to throw money at it that I'm not necessarily going to, if I'm going to need to then spend a ton more unnecessarily. So I'd rather buy the rule book, work out what
sort of army you want, and then just buy that.
And then buy what I need. Because although it's, from what we've seen on Tinternet, it's not going to be the most expensive system in the world.
No?
But at the same time, when I was looking at those lists in White Dwarf, it's like I'm going to need 2 boxes of the fast attack box to do one part of that list,
right,
and stuff like that. So it's
I'd
rather I'm going to be really specific about what I buy for this rather than other heresy things where I'm just kind of
go all in and then sort of fit your army around the stuff that you bought. And I do quite like the idea of the Solar Auxilia, to be honest with you, like a tank regiment. It would be super cool with some super heavies and things, but again, it depends on whether I'm going to have to force me down the "you must buy infantry" route, which I'll be really annoyed about.
I'm hoping that I can start with just an army of just what's the word? Titans.
Yeah, I mean, we know that that's being brought into, don't we?
Then I can just stick with what I've got right now and then expand from there on in.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Titans painted up as well, so that might not be a bad thing, but I do like the look of the little Lehman Russes and stuff. I think it looks super cool. And even the super heavies are nice to see.
The militia tanks, or the Solar Rocks tanks rather, are more appealing to me than the Astartes, any of the Astartes stuff. The Lehman Russ is the second coolest tank out there, and
fair enough.
A load of those rolling around will look super cool.
Okay. We've got some Slaps community posts. So over to you, Michael.
I suppose that the only real left thing to say is that it's on pre-order right now. By the time you're listening to this, right now it's on pre-order. So if you want it, go grab it.
Very cool. Okay.
And obviously they did put up a video. Sorry, I put this in for Chris, but they did put up a video and a battle report on Warhammer Plus today, so you can actually see the game in action as well, which is quite good if you're a Warhammer Plus subscriber, of course.
Oh, okay, no.
So they've got a video on how to play it, but then there's an actual full battle report on Warhammer Plus. So.
Okay, cool.
Who's in the battle report? It is where is it? I can't see. It came in the email today, so
breaks down. So got a mustering phase. So muster an army. So you got an orders phase, initiative phase, movement, combat, which I guess is shooting and any sort of assaults at the same time.
It's got Blood Angels in it. Sorry, just looking at the thing. I'm just loading up Warhammer TV, but it's being slow at the minute. I don't know why.
Okay, so it's alternating game turns, alternating actions. So,
Word Bearers versus Solar Auxilia.
Okay.
1,000 points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I've kind of been on the fence about it the entire time. So far, nothing about it has made me change that mindset.
Having my own little big army. If you see what that makes any sense.
I'm definitely interested, but I think I'm more interested simply because I already have I already have some stuff for it essentially with my Aeronautica and Titanicus. So
yeah, I think once I start seeing more militia tanks, like the Rust box set and the what's the one there that's like a Matilda but not a Matilda, Malcador. Once I start seeing those kits, I'll probably be a bit more excited about it.
Yeah, okay. I think the thing is, if I get it, I'm probably going to want both sides, which is just like, no, you shouldn't do that.
No.
But I'm going to want both sides. So
fair enough.
Because I'm like, the Solar Auxilia look amazing, and I've always wanted the Solar Auxilia army, and this is probably the only way I'm going to get one. But
I think I will go Solar Auxilia because they can have like Marauder bombers and things as well as Titans, and I think it'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
Just the question is how to paint them. I think because I'm going to go traitors, because I've got Legio Mortis, so I'll have to have a whole heresy traitor thing. Maybe some Sons of Horus as well. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know how traitor Solar Ox is going to work, but I suppose that'd be.
They did exist, didn't they? Because
some way.
Yeah, the Solar Orcs are just an army,
because a lot of them turned traitor, didn't they? With Horus.
Some of them went traitor. So
okay, cool.
Okay, cool. So that is the State of the Union
news.
And epic news and State of the Union. So we'll do the briefs, and then we'll go on to Chris Graham's Grumble. Okay, now it's time for what we're calling the Heresy Briefs, which are just little bits that you get from elsewhere that might be interesting. So, first up, you loved your Tomy toys as a nipper, right? And I'm sure all of us want the joys of those simpler times. Well, fear not, Games Workshop has teamed up with Tomy to bring us Cuddly Nurglings, Spanagrots, Griffhounds and Gnasher Swigs, and I'm sure Chris and Graham will buy 20 of each to roll around with on their beds in a cushion of stuffies. Please don't picture that. Please don't. Warhammer merch briefly sold a 40-year box of stuff which contained a mix of okay stuff, some junk, was a lot for the price to be fair. I would have loved the t-shirt, but yeah, I wasn't spending that much on the box. A new Kickstarter from the crazy folks at Tager Miniatures is looking to create a new range of ultimate bases, which will be provided as STLs for you to 3D print, and they look quite interesting. Slots for magnets as well as flat bottom versions. The project is funding until the 29th of November and is currently raised, let me have a quick look, it's currently raised £6,835 of a £396 goal, and right now has 4 days to go. And that
is the Heresy Briefs.
We love nothing more than poking the bear, and sometimes Warhammer community
Do you know what I feel
give
like
us
right
an
now?
especial.
Just to give you, I feel like the what was the?
Are you the
between-
killer whale?
No. I am the Rancor, whatever it is, in the Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Okay.
Behind the thing, waiting for Luke Skywalker to fall into the pit. That's what I feel like at the moment. I'm being kind of goaded. Yeah. So,
I mean, so we like to poke the bear. Games Workshop occasionally give us the tools that we require, and this time they told us how to model heavier weapons onto your Mark III Space Marines.
What a load of old nonsense this is.
You've got to
trying to line this up is going to be absolute hell on earth. I mean, those van braces are tiny.
Yeah, so this is all the special weapons are designed, and the heavy weapons are designed for Mark VI armor, and basically that doesn't change. You still have to use the Mark VI arms, but what you do this time round, ladies and gentlemen, is stick tiny van braces,
which are going to clip off. They're going to go all over the room. They're going to fall on the carpet into the carpet void, right? Yep. Never to be seen again.
Yep.
Because that's what happens with small components. Literally, there's probably like a tribe of the borrowers down there that just whip them off. Just
using them as skis.
Some kind of black market or something. I don't know, but yeah, who the heck is going to? This is going to put me right off using Mark III heavy weapons abuse like that. Mark VI, it is then.
Yeah, the thing is,
a lot of faff.
It's a lot of faff, and also in my head, the Mark III van brace is elongated. These look really stocky, really sort of compacted.
I'm assuming that these are quick kits out in the wild. Somebody must have done them.
Okay.
I guess so.
You'd have thought so.
Yeah, I
mean, they just look like uber faff.
It's. I mean, in fairness, it's only one more step.
Yeah, but I hate putting arms on Marines. They never line up properly. Whether it's just me, I don't know. But particularly that one at the bottom there.
There's at least 3 Custodes models in my army that I know of that the left hand does not directly attach to the left.
Nowhere near. I've sort of green stuffed on tendrils or something just to sort of so they look
they've all suffered some sort of horrible bone
disfigurings.
Yeah.
Their arms go at 45 degrees 2/3 of the way out their arm.
Load of old nonsense.
I
if you
get
glue
why
the arms
they're
on
doing
separately, you put them on separately, and then the gun won't fit.
Yeah,
it's just
there'll be something. But the van brace is what goes on last. So
I mean, it's they're gonna be lost to the carpet gods almost certainly. No two ways about it. And then you'll be
eaten by a dog.
Yeah, or just disappear into the ether. Yeah, just never to be seen again. That is a lot of faff. I've got to be honest with you. So much so that it's Mark VI for you, my lad.
I must admit, it was unexpected. It's cool because then you don't have to have 2 different kits for making the heavy weapon squads. But yeah, it's a bit. It does look like faff.
Yeah. Okay. The kind of thing that I avoid like the plague, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I'm assuming the fan braces are the same on the. They are still the same on the normal tactical squad unit as well.
Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, that was just a nice way
to poke the bear, get him riled up.
Shall we talk about Aunt Sally's happy endings then? Now
let's do that. Sally's happy ending. So this segment is all about rules interpretations, and we kind of go through them ourselves and see how we feel. Obviously, there's a certain bias in here insofar as are these or are these not Aunt Sally's happy ending, i.e. there's somebody there who is trying to push the interpretation of these rules, shall we say, to their furthest limits, or are they a genuine case of this is how the rules are? So the first one out of the bag, which caused some consternation on Crusade and Heresy back in August, this one was. So this was about, I hope we haven't done this one before, the Iron Warrior's advance reaction.
I don't think we have.
No. So a bit of fury. So the argument here, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is that because it doesn't specify who reacts, that any other unit can react to this. So I'll read the thing out and let you, the jury, decide. So bit of fury advance reaction. This advance reaction may be run once per battle during the opposing player's shooting phase. When any enemy unit declares a shooting attack targeting a friendly unit under the reactive player's control, and of course these are always composed entirely with models of the Legion Stars Iron Warrior special rule. Once the active player has resolved all their to hit and to wound rolls and armor saves are made, but before any damage mitigation rolls are made or casualties removed, the reactive player may make a shooting attack targeting the unit that triggered this reaction, with all weapons making twice the number of normal shots but getting the gets hot special rule. So the key takeaway here is it doesn't specify
made to make a shooting attack.
It doesn't specify that the reaction is coming from the unit that got shot originally.
No, we had this with another one the other day as well.
So most people are like, yeah, that seems like an Iron Warrior thing to do. It got pretty heated, as these things do.
They tend to. I think rules as written, it says, that,
it may have been the Iron Warriors one we were talking about.
But the thing is, people are saying, well, it's not that big a deal, and it's kind of Iron Warriors, but the Iron Warriors are getting double the attacks now. It's not the same as a normal return fire. So that's basically you shoot unit A on this side of the board, and then the las cannon squad on the other side of the board then shoots you with 20 las cannon shots. Assuming they don't roll any ones. I don't know. I mean, the Ultramarines can do it, but it's very specific in the rule for the Ultramarines, which this isn't specific. This is, I think, a willful interpretation.
I think we had the same conversation last month.
Okay, not
about this.
Yeah.
So, because I'm pretty sure we've had the same conversation about specificity in the wording, and I can't remember what we said last time.
Yeah.
I know what the intention is. It's the reactive unit, but that intention isn't laid out. So if someone said to me it's any unit, I wouldn't necessarily, depending on my mood.
Depending on how many games you lost.
Depending if it's game 5 of a 5-game losing streak on Saturday afternoon and Valdor's about to get removed off the board by 20 last kind of shots.
I mean,
then my mood might be slightly less ingenuous towards.
To be perfectly honest, it's one that I think is pretty plain and clear at this point. Without a FAQ, it is any unit.
You can't really argue against it because you can, but
I think it's a willful. Yes, you're right. People are going, well, rules is written because doesn't say that specifically. Therefore, I'm going to interpret it as thus.
Yeah.
Whereas most people reading that feel the intention, which of course has no place in the game, is that it should be the unit that gets shot. Double shoot.
I agree. It should be, but it's not. It doesn't say it. It doesn't.
Okay.
Say it.
Well, let us know, people of the internet, what you think. Is it only the unit that gets shot at can make the double shooting attack back, or is it another unit as an unspecified location or however far away it is, like the ultramarine special reaction, which does kind of devalue the ultramarine special reaction in that instance, because that's
I suppose so.
That's their kind of USR. That's their unique selling point, if you like. Okay.
Well, I mean,
do you want another one to get your teeth into?
Yeah, let's go to another one.
Let's. So this is an interesting one. This is definitely scarecrow manipulation of the highest order, I feel. But again, once again, we're back to the rules as written. So the argument here is, in the feudal hierarchy mechanical rule, a single detachment may not include both an Archmagus Prime and an Archmagus Prime on an Abiant, right?
Yeah.
But the argument here is that means that I can take Scoria or Dravek on an Abiant and a single Archmagus Prime on an Abiant altogether.
Yeah.
So nothing stopping me taking Scoria, Dracovac, who comes in an Abiant, and a single Archmagus Prime on an Abiant altogether. Obviously, they all count as Archmagus Prime and Abiants for the purpose of this rule.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, basically
FAQ, Mr. Mills.
Oh, good.
For the purpose of the feudal hierarchy special rule, treat Caleb Decima Invictus as an Archmagus Prime. Treat Archmagus Dravac as an Archmagus Prime. Treat Dravac on an Abiant as an Archmagus Prime on an Abiant. And treat Archmagus Anarchus Scoria as an Archmagus Prime on Abiant.
Oh, there we go.
Answered.
Solved. So basically, yes, it was willful misinterpretation of the rules. They basically said no. You can't take an Archmagus Prime on an Abiant and one of those guys that come with an Abiant.
I think because it doesn't specify them as being Archmaguses. I think it's I can
sympathise.
Yeah, because that's
okay.
If you're saying that someone, you're tidying up your mistake basically by not putting the name or the character to having the role that he should have.
Okay, that makes some sense. So the next one is camping the marker. So again, this is it possible for a vehicle to ram from reserve, which it does say you can do, if the target unit is on the battlefield edge. So, for example, you put your deployment objective down. You say this is the edge of the board that I'm coming on from in outflank. I get my 20-man rifle squad and just go right on the edge.
Yep.
Can you actually then ram them? So it says he says I think not, since the vehicle must stop 1 inch away from the unit. And there's no chance to enter the battlefield. So basically, it's that classic meme of all time, where the Kroot
conga line.
Yeah. So basically, So I think he's probably right. I don't think you can do it. I think you can effectively cut them off by just lining troops up there, because they can't. The vehicle doesn't. Does it go through the unit? I can't remember. We have to look at the RAM rules, won't we?
Yeah.
I will look it up for you. Bear with me.
But it's got to stop 1 inch away from the unit. So, but that's when it's rammed them. It's got to stop 1 inch away from the unit. So, in the old rules, they would go through the unit, wouldn't they? And then the unit would kind of reform back.
Yeah.
I think in the new rules, you kind of stop unless you kill the unit.
Ramming.
Okay.
Ramming from reserve. A vehicle that moves onto the battlefield in reserve may attempt to ram. This must be declared before the vehicle moves onto the battlefield.
Okay.
To perform a ram attack, first turn the vehicle onto the spot to face the direction you intend to move in.
Yep.
And after measuring, declare how many inches the vehicle is going to move up to.
I'm going to move
maximum
12.
I think the vehicle has to be fully on the board before it can do a ram attack.
I think you can do it from reserve.
Yeah, because
but I don't think it can. I don't think it actually smashes through the unit and goes through the other side.
If the size of the vehicle model making the ram, pivoting the model brings it into contact with an enemy unit, then moving the ramming vehicle the minimum distance required to keep it 1 inch away from any other model before beginning the ram.
Okay, but you can't even do that because they're right on the edge.
Once the vehicle has been aimed, the intended distance is declared. Move the vehicle straight forwards until it comes into contact with the unit, enemy or friendly, or it reaches the distance declared. No other changes of direction are allowed during the ram.
Yeah. So once it hits the unit, it doesn't actually go through the unit.
No. No, the vehicle. Well,
it just rams into them and stops.
Making the ram, pivoting the model brings it into contact with the enemy. Minimum distance required to keep it 1 inch away from other models before beginning the ram. Once the vehicle has been aimed and the intended distance declared, move the vehicle straight forwards until it comes into contact with the unit. So you could bring it. I'm trying to think.
I don't think there's any, because as soon as you hit the vehicle, as soon as you hit that unit, it actually stops.
Yeah, but you don't have to come on directly behind the unit. You could come on at an angle.
But no, because if you think about it, if you've got that, you've got that marker, haven't you, where you've got to come in for outflank. If you could basically, if you've got a 20-man squad and they're 2 inches apart, you can cover 40 inches, basically the whole side of a board.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a bold move, Cotton.
Absolutely, it's right out the playbook.
Yeah. Okay. See what other people think. See if we've misinterpreted that. This one caused some fractures. Another one, Heresy, Horus Heresy tactics, tips and tricks.
Just very quickly. No, carry on. Sorry.
Okay. So this is an interesting one, and I'm still not entirely sure that I got a good understanding of where this happens, but this is where you have overlapping rules. So, for example, you've got grav cannon rapiers. So they get the haywire and graviton pulse rules. So if I shoot a dreadnought, this is his words. And by the way, the guy does prefix for saying he's not trying to game the system. He just wants to find out what the crack is.
Yeah.
So he shoots the dread and it hits and it suffers the haywire effects. But the grav pulse rules say all non-vehicles make a strength check with 6 or is failing. So does the dread have to deal with both effects or not? So does it get the haywire and the grav pulse?
Does haywire affect dreadnoughts?
It does, totally does, yeah. But the haywire basically does say in the haywires. So yeah,
when the
vehicles suffer a glancing hit, dreadnoughts and autonomous suffer 1 wound. Only invulnerable saves can be taken against them. So basically, it's not a bad way of getting rid of a dreadnought if you've got enough shots. Anyway, the point is, it does say it hits a model with the vehicle dreadnought, so roll a d6 to effect rather than rolling to wound for armor penetration.
Yeah.
So basically, you don't roll for wound, which would imply that you don't then roll for the grav pulse rule because that's rolling to wound. I think is how it's kind of left out, but there is some people that said yes, that's true, and other people said no, you're talking nonsense.
It might be one of those things where is it in dreadnought unit type?
I think Rob Medwell from Medwell Paints, I think, is the answer is super clear. Under the haywire rules, no strength tests. The Blance reigns and is also difficult and dangerous terrain.
Yeah,
but the dread, will have to move through. But ultimately, the haywire says it works, but you don't roll any to wound rolls, which is what that strength test is. I would agree with that. That would be my
that sounds like a good interpretation of what's going on there.
This one did cause some ructions. I love it.
You love the ructions, don't you?
I totally do. This is in Crusade and Heresy, and this caused, in fact, somebody even mentioned the fact that this might be one for Aunt Sally. If a unit is given outflank, can a dedicated transport to said unit also make a flanking attack?
I think that the vehicle gains that unit's
But that's it. This has caused all manner of problems.
I don't think there's anything that specifically says the vehicles do gain that kind of stuff.
The Dark Angels do.
Yeah, but I think just the rule. So I think the one they've used here is the outflank rule that gets given to I think it's the White Scars. So basically, up to 3 infantry units can have outflank, but they're infantry units. They're not vehicle units. If you see what I mean. So you've said that infantry has this. Does that then grant? So if I've given that unit outflank, does the dedicated transport for it also get outflank? This was a great exchange. I won't mention the names to protect the innocent or guilty in this instance. Somebody just wrote, this is the sort of thing that happens, right? Somebody just wrote yes. So somebody else wrote, well, can you point that out in the rules? I can't find it. Well, yeah, it doesn't say it specifically. Only for infiltrate and scout, which both confer outflank, and it's always the case for outflank too. So it should being the word there. And then somebody else has said that's not how rules work though. It doesn't say it in the rules, and the answer is no, not yes, because I think it should be yes.
I'll be perfectly honest, I don't think it does. And the reason for that is because it doesn't say it does, if that makes any sense.
That's exactly right.
It doesn't go, it doesn't say, with the Dark Angels specifically say is it gains those rules. So I would say if it doesn't say it specifically does it, then it doesn't, because I mean,
so in outflank it says basically all models unit must have the outflank special rule unless embarked upon a transport vehicle that has the outflank special rule itself. Doesn't mean it grants the vehicle itself outflank.
Yeah.
So if you're just given outflank, it doesn't work. So basically, it doesn't give it to the transport. Infiltrate says it does, but that doesn't confer outflank. So this looks like if you thought, oh, brilliant, I'm going to give my 3 infantry units outflank, and then I'm going to put them in land raiders. You've had it. It's not going to work.
Fantastic if it did, but I don't think it does.
Neither do I. So but anyway, all sorts of hell, as you could tell by the conversation there, including a few memes from the person that said yes. After somebody went to some great lengths to say, that's why you're talking nonsense. So I absolutely loved it. It was like, that meme where somebody's eating popcorn. That was me with that one.
Is it models with the Legio Astartes special rule, or is it models with the infantry rule? Because
it's infantry. It specifically says 3 infantry units may get outflank.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then you're screwed, as far as I can say. Dedicated transport rule makes it part of the unit, but that doesn't work either, because otherwise that would mean that your Rhinos dedicated transport would be line if you gave them to tactical squads, for example, which they're not.
Yeah. I think it's a case of it doesn't say anywhere that it does, so it doesn't. And where it does say that, and there are examples where it specifically says it happens, so the assumption would be it doesn't happen. But we can't make assumptions with rules because that's not how it works.
People will make different assumptions.
Yeah. But we've had that for years in 40k. You go to one club and it's like, oh, we would play it this way. And it's like, I don't understand how that works in the rules. And then you go to another club and they're like, oh, well, I'll play it this way.
So interesting enough, if they got given infiltrate, they would then get outflank.
Yeah.
Because if you're given infiltrate, that confers outflank.
Then gets outflank. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, no, you can't do that, folks. So anyway, of course, these are our interpretations of rules that are, as been pointed out, somewhat ambiguous. So if you feel differently or feel that we've got something wrong, please do let us know.
Well, I really don't think this one is ambiguous. I think this one is pretty clear cut. It doesn't say otherwise, that it doesn't.
Yeah. So anyway, just a heads up, folks, if you're planning on doing it. So that's it. A few little zips around the internet for the sorts of keyboard warrior, the keyboard Conans of the world going at it hammer and tongs about these rules. But yeah, I think some of those are pretty cut and dry, and good that they FAQ'd the Bayant one. Hopefully they'll do a bit more of this and FAQ some of these other crazy things.
Yeah, we haven't had one for a while, but to be fair, the game hasn't really had a lot of stuff going on, but it could do with one.
It really could do with one. There's
I was just saying it is at the point now where I think we've had it for a while now that I think an FAQ is due.
It totally is. Okay, cool.
So then again, it's going to be stupid questions and not the ones we want answered, isn't it? It always is.
Oh yeah, it's like some really obscure rule that nobody's ever bothered about.
No one's cared. So it just page 213 on the core rule book. Dedicated transport. Sometimes a unit entry will include a transport option allowing a vehicle to be selected together with the unit. These dedicated transports not just have a choice on the force order chart, but count as having the same role as the unit they were bought for in regards to all other rules purposes.
Same role was that?
Same role.
That's for their force. That's for their force organisation slot, isn't it? But yeah, again, somewhat ambiguous. You're right. It doesn't get. Otherwise, it would. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can. I'm just trying to think.
No. I see. I can totally see where you're coming from with that. It isn't super clear. But yeah, thanks you, Damien Turner, for saying this. These are the words that they use. Graham Mills. I think this is up your straw-filled alley.
Good lord.
So very wrong. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Damien. Anyway, cool. Good discussion. We shall see how we get on. Hopefully, if you find any more, of course, please do point them out to us as we go.
Okie dokie. So that brings us to a conclusion on the. I mean, is episode 13 an unlucky episode? 7, 13, something about it seems somewhat uneasy to me mentally. But anyway, it's over now, so we can all move on with our lives. As always, please leave us some reviews on iTunes, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Links are in the show notes. Show notes. You can also join the Edge of Empire group on Facebook. We had some new people join us. In fact, just while we were recording, I approved a request for someone that made the correct assumption that Rogue Dawn is the better siege master out of him and Perturabo.
Is that a question?
That is one of our 3 questions that we ask you to answer when you join the community.
Nice.
And it's a fun, happy, jolly place and definitely worth you visiting. If you want to get in touch with us, you can post on our Facebook wall, send a message to the same account, or you can email us at info@edgeofempire.co.uk. We've had to stop accepting carrier pigeons because I'm sick and tired of having to clean up the shit, basically. If you want to help out the show, we have an affiliate link with Audible, and you can sign up to get your Horus Heresy audiobooks, such as The End and the Death, Part 2. Through them, you get a month's free trial, and after that, $7.99 a month. And you basically get a free audiobook every month. And as I pointed out to 2 of our friends the other day, you can return audiobooks and get your tokens back. So, well worth thinking about. It's only so many times a year in a row you can do it, I believe. But it's, you're not stuck with a book if you don't want to be. And all of the Black Library books are there and available. You can become a Patreon of the show and pop a couple of dollars in our tip jar, and we are super grateful. And I still don't know what it is, but apparently there's a thing called Ko-fi, and money can be exchanged that way, I believe, for gratitude. Also, because this is the selling point of the show, which is the key part at the end where no one has turned off because no one listens to the last 5 minutes of any
we
show.
should put this in the middle of the list, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
we should put this in the list challenge. This is where we should.
In order for you to listen to the listen challenge, you need to donate too.
Yeah. Please
We'll give
phone
you a special
0800.
code.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, you can also help us out. Go into the advert on our website.
Click on the dancing Mr.
toys.
B.
That's it.
Icon on your computer screen.
We'll send you one of those special pens we've had made where when you turn the pen upside down, his Age of Empire T-shirt disappears and revealed below
Rose of his glory.
Quite the saucy little outfit, let me tell you.
Those would sell.
They would, absolutely.
No, I don't.
I've got a box of 2,000 of them waiting to be shipped
coming from Alibaba as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my word.
What else have we got to hawk to you? Oh yeah, we also have Element Crystal Code, which means when you place an order, you put in our code and you get double crystals, which I think every crystal equates to about 10 pence. I think.
Is it?
So
that's quite a bit, though.
It is, yeah. It's super useful, and we are the kind of beneficiaries of the normal amount of crystals that you would have. So. You get double, we get single, and again, always useful for us because cheekily saves on postage on things occasionally. My code is CHR211. Graham's, for God only knows why, it's actually a 4-digit number. GRA279.
Maybe Graham is just like a super popular name for them.
Could be.
I guess in wargaming circles, Graham is probably a very popular name because it's sort of.
Is.
I was talking about this at work actually, just to kind of tangent a little bit further. Graham is such a boring name. Why couldn't I have an exciting name like Zach? Or something like that. Something that's goes like a go-getter's Graham.
Take it up with
choice of career, librarian. That's basically. And we're not talking about the psychic powered future. Star Soldier. We're talking about I think you'll find that Hereditary is on the wrong section. Kind of Graham.
What you'll be looking for, actually,
that's a very common mistake to make.
Yeah. Actually, in the historical post 1940s documentation,
some people feel that
despite the fact
the Agrarian Revolution of 1807. For goodness sake. Yes. Anyway, crap name. Got to say,
Caesar is actually classified in the biographies as opposed to ancient Roman history.
See, Chris, single shit. Boom. There you go. No messing about.
But it's your
Michael could
name,
be
so just use it as your middle name. Do what our grandmother did, and don't use your first name as your actual first name. Just use your middle name. But it will make our lives very confusing then, because it'll be me, you, and our dad.
Yeah, no. I'm going to just make my own name up, like Prince.
No one's stopping you. Like Prince, we're going to come up with a symbol. Just have the Age of Empire symbol as your name from now on.
Formerly known as Graham.
Was that actually his real name, Prince?
What? Was Prince's real name Prince?
Yeah.
I think it actually was. No, it can't have been.
No one gets born with the name Prince.
Well, you don't know.
Oh, well, okay. His actual name was, I do apologise, Prince.
No, I thought it was.
Prince Rogers Nelson.
There you go.
Whether he was...
He was a man destined. See what I mean? Having a name, he was destined for pop stardom. I mean, what else could he be? He couldn't be a librarian, could he? Can I have? I need to have these books. Don't worry, I'll just get Prince for you.
excuse me, Prince. Can I have 6 rashers of bacon, please?
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to work, is it? No. If in McDonald's or whatever with his Billy No Stars on there with Prince underneath, who's going to believe that?
No, exactly. They'd all think it was some sort of joke name, wouldn't they?
Exactly. Right. He was actually called
went on to become a musical pioneer and purveyor of berets and
raspberry berets. Yeah,
raspberry berets. Single-handedly kept the infamous French headwear in circulation in modern culture. Also, Michael's code is MIC440. Just before we forget,
we don't have a code for Prince, the departed Prince, unfortunately. If we did, we'd put it in here.
Oh, yes.
We would. I mean, I'm trying to think if he's. I can't think of a song that he did had numbers in it. It must have been one, surely.
Party like it's 1999.
Well, there we go. So Prince's was PRI 1999. There we go. Let's just make up celebrity element crystal codes and see who actually benefits. Dear. Right, we're going to end up losing that.
People are going to go
at some point.
Oh, I'm going to do that. Rather give it to those blokes. Okay.
Yeah, those idiots. Right.
It happens.
Okay.
The Outpost in Sheffield as well is a local friendly gaming store that I purchased my goods from, and we have affiliate links with them on the website as well. And that brings an end to this particularly. I think we said all of our madness for about the last 10 minutes there. I think the 0000 appearing on our respective timepieces may have just driven us slightly over the edge. So, in a couple of weeks' time, we are going to be talking about the Emperor's Children. And I was thinking about this. I never think about the Emperor's Children in any way as a sensible option of a legion, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, or I'm looking forward to having that mindset adjusted, and who knows, they may become the new chosen traitor legion of myself. But yeah, I never think, oh yeah, Emperor's Children, I bet they're tough.
They are tough.
Whereas every other traitor legion I kind of think I've got a vibe with.
Yeah,
you don't see them very often, do you? I mean, I like the colour scheme a lot.
I see them sometimes, just not like they're not like a top.
I mean,
legion.
Sometimes you see them sort of sticking their heads through cabinet doors and things like that, and watching you when you sleep, that kind of vibe. But that's very time I see.
Well, somebody who I play regularly with, who always brings a top drawer list, has just bought some in Emperor's Children, so it'd be interesting what he does with them.
Gareth?
No, Gareth's always used Emperor's Children.
He has indeed.
But yeah, I mean, I think they're high initiative, and their Phoenix Garden stuff pretty tasty.
They are.
So, well, we will find out in a couple of weeks' time.
Let's get the hell out of Dodge here.
Let's do it. Let's close this madness down.
We will see you later, guys. Then.
Yep. See you later,
everybody.
Have a lovely couple of weeks.
Night.
Love and snuggles.